Yeah, baby. We're doing it again. Welcome back to another episode of Rated G with Gary G. Garcia and Brian T. Licata. Once again, I am your host, Gary G. Garcia, along with my brother and partner in misinformation, Brian T. Licata. Yeah, there you go. Not a good cup of coffee.
I forgot to put sugar in it. I'm out. Yeah, that's the problem.
Black coffee.
Espresso, black double espresso.
I think people who drink coffee black are psychos, man. Probably serial killers. How do you drink coffee black, man?
It's the same way I do my Coke with a straw, dog. You know.
Oh man, how you feeling, man?
I look good, dude.
I look
good.
I feel better than I look.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, I do, man. I didn't get no sleep, man. You know, Mondays are rough, and now Tuesdays have officially become rough for me. But I do it for you and for all our loyal listeners. On Please was here right before us, but we're on time today. On Please says, take me to Tartaria with you, Brian. Yeah, he's been there a lot, yo. Bro, what's up, baby? Right on time. Que pasa? On Please says, good morning, ladies. Only Brian is 3 hours earlier. Raymond's here. Raymond Robles. Yeah. What's going on, man? Welcome back. Glad you guys are here, man. This is cool. You just made it worth me waking up. Y'all alone, man. Dude, my alarm went off. I swear I just fell asleep. Bruno, what's up, baby? Man, all people are on point, man. You guys are on point.
Good morning. Boy. Do you guys like the Tuesday, Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern style? Are we into that? Fans of the show?
They're here.
I like it. I like it.
Rocking my Rated G mug today. Michelle's here. Hi, my guys. I'm driving to work now. Hope I don't lose service. Don't say anything good for 30 minutes. There's always a good chance we'll go longer than that before we say anything good. So I think you're safe. I think you're safe, man. Ciro's here, man. Yo, me and Ciro were talking about you yesterday, Brian. Not in great detail, just in the fact that he thinks you're nuts with that Tartarian shit.
Oh, really?
yeah. He's not on board with the Tartarian shit, man.
Well, let me break it down. At least what I have discovered so far today. Bro 12002 says he likes the on time stuff. Raymond says wanted to make sure y'all are on time, and it's usually lunchtime for me at this time, so it works.
Yeah, well, everyone's here, so I guess not everyone, but a lot of people are here, so I guess we're good to go, man.
Yeah.
You know, dude, I'm fucking done, man.
What happened?
My alarm went off, and I was dreaming about it for a minute, man. I thought I was in a fire.
You were dreaming about your alarm going off?
It was going off and it had me thinking I was in a fire. I was like having a dream. The alarm started going off. It took me a minute to realize that it wasn't the dream, but my alarm. I don't know. My carbon monoxide shit went off the other day. Woke my ass up. And I don't even know where I would have carbon monoxide. I don't even have gas in this bitch, man.
Could be a leak, right? In the ground?
Someone trying to kill me, maybe. I don't know. But I think it just needs a new battery.
It could be someone trying to rub you out, dude.
I cared so much, I ripped it off the wall and just took out the battery. And that was it. I don't even think I checked the oven. But why would I check the oven? It's a fucking electric oven. So what was I going to do anyway, right?
Yeah, no.
I don't know. I didn't smell anything, even though I don't think it's supposed.
Right? Did you smoke any cigarettes after that?
I did light up a cigarette.
Yeah, well, then you're good, dog. You're good.
I guess, right?
Yeah, you're good, bro. Yeah, it didn't blow up. Yeah, you're fine.
That's what I say.
Yeah, it didn't blow up. You're good.
More of my roof came down last night in my living room, and it appears that more will be coming down today. That's what it looks like.
Let me see. I think you texted me that picture. Do you want me to pull that picture up or no?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you got it. Sure.
I mean, you have been talking about it. So
Yeah, this is what I woke up to, man. Fucking garbage. They're supposed to come here today to fix it.
well, this actually isn't the picture you woke up to. These are just some definitely some other photos. But let me I'll just show the fans.
Fucking thing. I was sleeping and I heard it fucking just crash. Yeah. Now, if you look, you see how like all the cracks are coming. So that goes all the way across the whole ceiling, and
it goes this way. It goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just straight up water damage, dude. You like that ceiling's gonna it's gonna go, dude.
Oh, it's gonna go, dude. I'm looking. The left side's already just came down.
Yeah.
And look at that fucking landed on my cat.
I mean, you really should just stop paying rent, dog.
Well, I haven't paid it yet. So I mean, you know, it's an odorless gas.
He says I didn't smell it.
I didn't. That's what I said. I didn't smell it. That's what I said. I know it. I know it's odorless, right? I wouldn't smell it. And what's fucked up too is
I didn't realize that it is odorless natural gas.
I didn't smell anything. I know.
So wait, is carbon monoxide and natural gas?
It's my ignorance that makes me adorable, people.
It's the same thing.
It looks like old plaster ceiling. Definitely not fun to work with, but it'll only get worse if they don't take care of it. They're supposed to come today and take care of it, and you can see it's all about to come down, man. It looks like it came down once before because you can see that it's like different. I mean, whatever, man. The more it comes down, the less, you know, the more I save because then I don't pay my rent. And the same shit's happening in the other bedroom too, in the studio, if you want to call it that. I only used it twice.
What, in the other room?
Yeah, man. Fucking, you know, it's like nothing can go smooth, man. Everything always got to be a fucking issue, but it's all right. I'm learning. I'm learning to move and stay a little more patient and shit, man. Big up to everyone who came out last night to the Not Quite Tuesday show out there at Grizzly Pear. Another great night, another great banging night, man.
Who'd you have on the show?
I don't remember.
It was literally 12 hours ago.
it was 12 hours ago. That's a long time. We had like 7 comedians. I don't remember who the fuck was on the show. Me and Adam.
Right. Kim Beck? Chris Kim Beck?
Nah. He's not even out here no more, man. I think that motherfucker's by you. He's in Cali somewhere, I think.
Oh, really? Did he go to LA or what?
I think so. I don't know. I think he might have even gotten married. Remember that chick he said he met?
Oh, really? Huh.
I'm talking out my ass. That could all be misinformation, but where else would we share that?
Well, you know, the show. I like Good too, Michael Good. He was one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, I just saw him yesterday, man. Christina, hey, let's go to Tartaria, man. You got people on that Tartaria shit, huh? I still haven't caught on, man. I still haven't gotten.
Well, you want me to break it down? I mean, what better time than the present? The people are looking for it. I got receipts too, dog. Physical on location receipts, bro. I was there, dude. I was there in the flesh.
I asked Mark yesterday, "What'd you think of that Tartaria shit?" Because you kept sending me shit, and he goes,
"Did he watch any of it?"
He goes, "What is that? The whatchamacallit? The fair." The World's Fair shit.
The fair, yeah.
And I said, yeah. He said, get the fuck out of here. Break it down first. Okay, break it down. Here's the thing. Don't just break it down, Brian. I need you to break it down in a way that gets me interested. Make me a believer. Or I'm not even asking make me a believer. Make me a skeptic.
Make you a skeptic, right?
Make me a skeptic. Maybe go, It could be. You might, Rabbit.
It might be, Rabbit. It might be. Well, here's the thing, G. You know, everything that we believe in so far, right, has been a story that has been told to us by somebody, right? And usually that somebody is the powers that be, right? That's what we talk about, history, his stories, right?
Yes.
These are the stories that we're told by the people who control us, right? So
and I'm starting to believe they told us nothing but lies. Just start.
All right. So let's start with that. All I'm asking for you to do at this point is, do you believe the party line truth for 9/11, Afghanistan, or Iraq, or Vietnam? And the answer is no. Then you can come on this journey with me a little bit, right? So is the answer to any of those questions no, my friend?
Yeah, the answer to every single one of those questions is probably no. Is that the answer you want? I don't believe them. No.
I invite you to take my hand, G, and come on a little walk down the
Let's
lane
go. Let
to
us go, dude. Guide me, dog. Guide me.
Tartaria, right? So, so basically, Tartaria it's a group of theories, right? And the center of the theory is that there was an advanced civilization on Earth not that long ago. We're not sure how long ago, maybe 400 years ago, maybe 1,000. They're not really sure, right? But where the evidence lies is in similar architecture all around the world from all different civilizations. The other similarities are symbolism that is all over the world. One of them in particular being a swastika, right? So a swastika, and it really boils down to the origins of humanity, right? So where you want to go to some comments?
Yeah, I just saw Zero. Bro says, "Take us for a ride, man." Which, by the way, "Take us for a ride" was my first fucking line ever in my first grade play. Mark, you were probably in that play too. My first grade play, that was my line. It said, "Come on, pony boy, take us for a ride."
Oh, is that Outsiders?
You are pony boy. Zero says the alien guy doesn't believe the Tard guy. That's what amazed me yesterday. I was like, "You don't believe him?" He's like, "Nah." But he believes aliens like a mother. But go ahead, let's go, because actually the road you're on right now, me and Mark did talk about a little bit about it yesterday, and I'm gonna give you my theory. But go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So so basically since
What's up, Traveling Runner?
Yeah.
Traveling Runner, what up, bud?
So let's just go with history as it was taught to us in the American education system, right? Damn, G, get those sets in, dog. Yes, big workout, dude. Push. Yes, dude, get it up. You got it, dude. One more. He's just dying over there. This is how Gary's gonna die. He's just gonna cough to death on the show, and then all of a sudden his head is gonna pop like that bird that Randy Johnson hit with the baseball. It's just gonna explode into a bunch of feathers.
Eyeballs gonna hit the screen.
Yeah, dude, just explode. All right, so now that you're with me on maybe the government lies to us, right?
Maybe.
So let's go to our American history. And really, when I say American history, let's talk about the history of the people who are in power now. And we know who those are. That's the American elite, the British elite, the German elite, like these top dog people, the Russian elite, whoever. And they're all kind of in cahoots with each other, right? So they've been in global control since roughly the 1500s. Spain and England were battling to control the world. 1492, Spanish is setting sail. So the theory of really Tartaria is this whole new chronology that everything before 1500 is complete and utter bullshit. Like they have absolutely zero idea how old anything is. And there was a flood that happened at some point before 1500. And before that flood is when the Tartarian civilization existed, right? The flood, some sort of cataclysm happened. Maybe it was Noah's flood, right? That's what some people believe in, is that it was Noah's flood that wiped away that civilization. And like the Nephilim thing that they talk about in the Bible, they're actually talking about what we call Tartaria, but Tartaria is not even its actual name. You know, that's the name that we just are giving this lost culture, so to speak, right? Now, what that centers in is really all of this similar architecture that is called Greco-Roman, right? So the idea is actually that the Greeks, the Romans, the Phoenicians, the Scythians, all of these Sumerians, the Babylonians, all of these could well be Tartaria that they just gave different names to. You know, when they were writing history in 1600, after they conquered, you know, the Middle East, they conquered Asia, they were like, yeah, we're just going to call all of these names this, and then it's done. I mean, you can look at the same way of what we did to Africans when we brought them here. They had history that we have no idea what it is now. Like who built the pyramids? That's all African history. That's completely
that's what we were talking about yesterday. The pyramids. We got deep into some pyramid hole, you know. And Mark totally he will totally, because I said, what if they built the pyramids from the top down? What if it was just one big piece of something and they started at the top
and just chiseled it?
and then chiseled it, then went to the middle and opened it up, went on both sides, you know, put
Bro,
some etching where it looks like fucking full bricks
well,
or whatever, full
so
fucking big stones.
the
I know it's a stupid thing.
heart really of Tartaria is that it was a free energy society, right? And this is what I was kicking to you a little bit on the phone last night. Is what they were doing is they were tapping into the ether, which is a word that people used to say all the time that no one really uses anymore. And this ether is this electrical energy, something that is kind of in the air that we can tap into. And this is what I was kicking to you last night. I was watching a video that was saying that the Bible, right, the Christian Bible, is actually from the Church of Isa or something that was the religion of these people before us, right, but pre-flood, right? And the Bible is an combination of all of those books, right, that were then rewritten with some truth, some fiction by King James, right, in the 1500s, right, and you know, Jesus, right, son of God, these miracles that he was performing was showing people the true power of God, which is tapping into this ether, right, and by doing so, we can then live a life where we don't have to eat, we don't have to do all this stuff. We can explore like mental, spiritual, physical realms.
Say ether again.
Ether.
Rock and roll, man. Rock and roll. Also the title to Nas's comeback track. The Traveling Runner said, if you're reading this, then yes, smash that like button. Don't be shy. Don't keep us a secret. Everybody wants to know what idiots you're listening to. Bro says, then came the rainbow. And bro, 66 books in the Bible. Here's what I think. We were talking about it yesterday, me and Mark. And I was thinking about what Einstein said. He said, I don't know what weapons they'll be using for World War III, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones, right? I think that once again, you know, everything's a cycle. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's not like necessarily they were more advanced. It was just like a full, like the way we've been living and going, and now it looks like everything's gonna come down. I think that should happen before, you know, like who knows how many times.
And
but,
these books,
you know,
dude, these books say that
so advanced that we're no good to ourselves. So then we wind up destroying ourselves. And then whatever little remnants remain, they have to start over by, you know, and a lot of those people don't know all that technology. So they have to discover it kind of again.
And dude, that's exactly what the theory of Tartaria is. So
maybe I do believe in Tartaria.
Yeah, dude. So basically, right, like the fall of Tartaria would have been that they got to this point of advancement, right? And I'm just going to call it free energy society because I don't have any other way to describe what they were doing. But I'll show you some of these like buildings and stuff, but it all kind of connects to a lot of these designs we see in churches and cathedrals, right, of today, right? But they were, you know, I just forgot what the fuck I was saying.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. You were going for a minute. I was like, he's going to lose it. I was thinking he's gonna lose it. I was letting you go, man. I was letting you go. I didn't want to fuck up your flow. But I you know, listen.
Oh yeah. And I was going to. So in that free energy society of Tartaria, a lot of the actors or the people started using the bad magic, right, or the bad energy to do bad things, right. And then a cataclysm of some sort happened, whether they were smited by God, a comet came down, some sort of, you know, flood happened.
Well, even if a comet came down, what makes you think that wasn't getting smited by God? Did he not create the comets as well?
I haven't asked them.
You should. Feel free to ask, man.
I don't have any stamps.
You don't need them. All you need is a broken spirit and a contrite heart.
So then after this cataclysm, right, people reverted to, let's say, the caves or whatever, and where they left from, right, like where all the survivors were in Ireland, right? And the people left Ireland on boats, right? And these are the people that they call Phoenicians. You know, the Phoenicians are known as the sailors of the old world, right? Have you heard that at all? The ancient Phoenicians?
I've heard of it. I haven't
Yeah,
done
and
it. I know about as much as
and
the Phoenicians as I do of the Tartarians.
and the Phoenician alphabet is really like the basis of most other alphabets, right? So so like this is like A, B, C, D, like so this is like the basis, and they're not that different, obviously, from the letters we use now. Look, Y, X, W, you know, like these letters aren't far off from what what we're
Well, I
using
mean, they
now.
got 2 Ys over there. 2 of them look like Ys. Got a couple of Ys in there.
So the Tartarian theory is that the survivors from the last cataclysm or the flood survived in Ireland in caves or wherever the fuck, and then emerged once it was safe, and then started traveling the world by boat looking for the other survivors, and they were passing down this history of this alphabet, to
So
everybody.
in your theory, does that mean that everybody's got Irish in them? Everybody's a little Irish?
Well, no, not necessarily. The ones who were the smart ones, right? Or the ones who were
Only the smart ones are the Irish?
well, these are the people who were they were the druids, right? And do you want to hear something a little?
Now we're going to druids.
Well, that's you know what else they call them?
What?
Aryans.
All right.
That's the problem, dude. With a lot of this stuff, dude, it gets very anti-Semitic at some point. Well, it does, dude. I don't know how, bro. It always gets anti-Semitic, bro.
This world has always been kind of anti-Semitic.
Yeah, dude. What's up with that, dog?
Anti-Semitism killed Jesus. Diana, hey, what's up, stranger? Glad to see you. Just found out what's that?
Ashkenazi.
Ashkenazi Jew.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mazel Tov.
Yeah, L'chaim.
L'chaim. You don't have to eat if you tap into the ether.
No, that's the thing. So I was looking at some of the videos I've been watching are saying that a lot of these ancient cities didn't have any sort of toilet systems, like in any of these castles or anything like that. They did not have any toilet facilities at all built into them. They're all added in.
Toilet facilities. So what were they doing? Just shitting in the street?
I don't know, dude. Do you want to watch the video?
Diana says, look them up. The I can't even say that. Ashkenazi. 285 to 385 people are where my family came from. I'm thinking a lot of inbreeding going on there. I don't know. I'm just asking. Jasmine, what's up, mama? Hope you're having a good day. I got to call you after the show, ma. I got to talk to you about tomorrow. She said, Diana said, yep. Well, that explains some things.
Well, here, dude. Here's so I'm in population bottleneck due to the slaughter of Jews.
And we got a little fuck you. Hey, I received that. Okay. My day's not complete unless someone's telling me to go fuck myself.
Okay, so 1915 World's Fair, right? So the theory of Tartaria is that all of these World Fairs,
just like San Francisco, one big toilet. Yes.
So, dude, these World Fairs, right? The theory is that they were put on, right, in order to destroy evidence of the Tartarian civilization, right? Now, all of these expos, right, were put on by the dudes who we talk about now, right? JP Morgan Chase, Rockefeller, Carnegie Mellon, Alan Dulles' like way back family. Like, dude, all of the people.
I thought you were going to say Cardi B. I'm going to say Cardi B.
dude, but all of these people that we talk about now in all of these, like, theories, of global control, NWO, their ancestors are the ones who set these things up. So these things were set up, predominantly between like the Rothschilds. Thank you. Yeah, the Rothschilds also. So, these things.
There's a Rothschild building up here, man. It says right on it, Rothschilds.
Dude, they have them everywhere.
Yeah,
Dog, all you need to do is start looking, right? And me and you have talked about it, dude. Look at that building in Atlantic City right next to you. Dude, it looks Roman, bro, and it looks old as shit.
The police station.
Bro.
And it's got Masonic fucking symbols all over it, man. Actually, in the front, it says something, Masonic something, it says in front. And that was the police station.
So, and this was actually something that I had sent to you before, right? That we can kind of bring the Masons into it, right? So they talked about the Temple of Solomon, right?
Yep.
Can you tell me any biblical history of the Temple of Solomon? I mean, do you know anything about it? Or is it just is that like on the other side?
Well, no, I know that David got all the stuff together, but he wasn't allowed to build it. So Solomon built it. And if I'm correct, Solomon built it, and or was it David that built it for Solomon? He never was able to go in it. I don't know. I forget. I smoked.
So Solomon's temple, also known as the first temple, first house of the sanctum, was a biblical temple in Jerusalem believed to exist between 10th and 6th century BCE. Its description is largely based on narratives of the Hebrew Bible, which was commissioned by the biblical king Solomon before being destroyed by Jerusalem Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar, yeah, he was a fucking hard ass. Yeah. Nebuchadnezzar. I'd be upset too with that name.
Don't be such a Nebuchadnezzar.
Don't be such a Nebuchadnezzar. He was kind of a dick. Nebuchadnezzar was a dick.
Right. So now let's go to this, right? Okay, so that was 6th century BCE, right? 6th century BCE. So that's 6,000 years before.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
and then
make a
do
big
this.
deal about how they built the pyramids. How did they build that shit if they didn't have the technology? And that's where I'm coming from when I say that maybe this whole shit, like maybe they did have that technology back then. Maybe they had cranes and all that shit too. No, it just all got destroyed.
Now, this is from the Universal Freemason site, right? The temple legend is a name that I give to the legend and tradition, which traces the origin of Freemasonry as an organized institution to the Temple of Solomon. This is the legend that is now almost universally accepted by the great mass of Masonic fraternity. Bro, 9 out of 10 Masons think that they built the Temple of Solomon. 600 BC, dog. Now, I want you to really just note the architecture, right?
It's very nice.
Mm-hmm. It is.
That no more.
They don't, right? Now, I want you to look at this. Then I want you to look at this.
Brian really thinks he's exposing something right now. Let's go, baby. Brian's going deep.
Is it similar in architecture and in style, in design at all?
Yeah, I mean, but wasn't a lot of stuff back then pretty much built like that?
Right. Do you know what this is right here, this image?
I don't know, but it's very phallical.
This is from the 1915 World's Fair in San Francisco. This was built for that World's Fair. This building. This is called the Temple of Jewels, right? This building right here, right? So now the World's Fair, San Francisco history, 1906, there was a massive earthquake in San Francisco that destroyed the city. And it really wasn't the earthquake, it was the fires afterwards, right?
So you guys need another one of those. That's what y'all need right now. That's what San Francisco needs right now.
So 1906, the entire city is destroyed with the exception of a few buildings, which I want to get into because that also leads into more evidence for my theory, right? So 9 years later, right, the Panama Canal also gets built at the same time. And to celebrate, they have the Panama Pacific International Expo, which is a World's Fair in San Francisco, where they built the Palace of Fine Arts that I went to, and they built this Tower of Jewels and tons of other buildings. but they leveled everything else. This is the Palace of Fine Arts where I went is the only thing that's still standing.
Mm. So you went to the, what's it called? The Palace of Fine Arts?
Yeah. Yep. So yeah,
So
I
you
just
went to a place called the Palace of Fine Arts. You've done some stuff, dude. You've been a page in the government. Like you've been pretty up and very down. You've seen both sides of the spectrum that the world has to offer. You know, you got a little taste of the politics, probably got a little rubber dubbed in that little tub that they have over there by somebody with hairy legs. Come on, man. I'm just saying. And you've also been down in the dirt in Kensington, popping off in front of cops on the corner. You've been places, my brother.
I have been places, haven't I? Oh, dude, here you go.
I'm very impressed.
Thank you. Okay, so this is actually historical footage from 1915 that they put out for the fair. So I just want you to watch this, and we're going to talk about it a little, right?
All right.
Union Square. The site selected was this mud hole out at Harbor View, near what was called
Golden Gate Bridge is
Tower.
back here right now. So it wasn't built yet,
By
right?
1912, San Francisco was nearly rebuilt.
See, by 1912, 6 years later, it was rebuilt from the earthquake, right? So all this, dude, was leveled, bro. And without power tools, they built an entire city in fucking 6 years.
How do you know there were no power tools?
Huh?
How do
Dude,
you
because
know
it's
there were no
19
power-
fucking, it's 1906, bro. They didn't have electricity, dude. They just had gas engines, dude. They just had cars.
They got a lot of cars.
Right, bro. That's what I'm saying, dude. That fast, 6 years from car like that. That's nuts.
When was the drill made?
Right up Market Street for 5
Shut up.
cents, either in a jitney or a streetcar. Or get a 9-course dinner for $1.
Wow! Hold on, pause that shit. Yo, that motherfucker just said, did he just say get a 9-course dinner
Yeah.
for $1?
Yeah.
Come on, man. And Biden wants to say Bidenomics is working. Motherfucker, we used to get a 9-course meal for $1. 9 courses. They don't even have those anymore.
I mean,
Who the
dude,
fuck has 9-course meals? How the fuck they stay
how
so
long would that
slim?
take? Yeah, how long?
How
Because
did
they
stay
walked.
so skinny
They
back
walked
then?
everywhere, dude. I mean, they're building these big ass buildings, dude, with the fucking hammer
By
and chisel.
hand.
Yeah, by hand. dog.
By hand, just handing up fucking bricks to each other from floor to floor.
First spade of earth to the cheers
Watch.
of thousands who gathered for the groundbreaking ceremony.
So this was the site, right? This is where it's all built
And from
now.
what was once a swamp,
But this is what I want you to
a
pay attention to. What's
sunset
coming up right
city
here.
of pale travertine with green bronze domes began to rise.
Now, I want you to look at all these photos and videos here specifically, right? And listen to what they're saying, okay?
It stretched from Chestnut Street to the water, from Van Ness Avenue to Fort Point in the Presidio. A marvelous array of cloistered palaces filled with the treasures of the world. The sheltered courtyards and arcades
Look at this shit,
protected
bro.
visitors from the bay winds and summer fogs. Separated from the rest of the
I'm trying to find the one scene.
Let's go to some comments real quick, man. Lauren Kloska says, hi. Didn't get a Facebook notification. Brian Slacken. Bro says, the same way we can build bridges from one side and meet in the middle, it's pretty awesome when you think of it. And we're doing it right now. I always bug out on bridges. I think bridges are some of the craziest shits made. And the other day I was stuck on the bridge going into the city. Yeah, no unions. You can get a lot done without unions. You know, there's something to be said for slave labor. Exactly. Get to work. That's great minds, baby. Michelle says no one has dollar menus anymore either. Yeah, nah, you ain't getting no dollar menu. And if you do, you know, you don't want to eat what's on the dollar menu. You don't want to eat what's on any menu now, actually, man. You know, I was watching this dude that does wilderness cooking with Mark yesterday, man. This motherfucker like was self-sufficient completely. Went into his backyard, grabbed whatever vegetables he needed, seasoning. This motherfucker killed the ostrich and then cooked an ostrich. He got like 6 kids.
An ostrich?
A full ostrich, dude. The shit was huge. And then he made like that's a meal. Every night this dude makes a meal for his kids. He got like 6 kids, 7 kids. And every night he like that's basically what they show him doing. That's his show. He cooks, for the family, but it's always these huge shits, like a whole goat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking, imagine if this dude had to go to the store for that shit. That would be insane. But this motherfucker's eating healthier than anybody I've ever seen. Everything is everything. Everything is right there on his property, dude. He has his own lake with fish, fucking humongous fish. He just goes in there with a hook. It's called Wilderness Cooking. It's on YouTube. It's fucking crazy. The only problem that I got is he doesn't say a fucking word. He's not from America. It's some dude from like,
Russia?
I don't
Australia?
know, man.
Is he speaking English?
Nah, he doesn't. That's the thing. He doesn't fucking talk. At the end, he just goes perfecto. That's all he does at the end. But he does some shit that I'm like, oh, what are you doing? It would be nice if you said it. Little subtitle or something.
You got to holler at him in the comments, dog.
But it was crazy because the dude went out and everything he needed was there. And then he had like 2 of the most happiest pets. He had a dog and a cat. The cat was running around free. Made me feel bad for mama. He'd be like gutting something and then just throw the stomach on the floor to the cat. And the cat would just be going, it was fucking the happiest cat I've ever seen. Little kitty cat. And then Mark was calling me gay because I was like, oh, look at the little kitty cat.
Oh,
look, I don't care that I like cats. I don't care that it brings out the softness in me, man. Something needs to in life.
I just want to show you this part.
10 course.
We were becoming more a part of it each day, and we sensed it. The Tower of Jewels was a thing alive.
This was that tower.
On it hung 125,000 polished jewels of Bohemian
the centerpiece
glass,
of the fair.
backed by bits of mirror. Shrouded by fog, they gleamed mysteriously. In the sun, caught by every breeze, they shimmered and sparkled. At night, in the glare of 1,000...
Dog, look at that.
Nice.
When have you ever seen anything like that? Ever? Like any kind of festival, any kind of fair, anywhere, dude.
It's pretty good. The fairs I go to,
Bro,
like a bunch of trucks.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, carnival rides, funnel cake, and fucking meth heads.
Some shitty ass carnival rides and shit.
Like, like, dude, it just doesn't make sense, bro. It doesn't make any sense.
Well,
and
what doesn't make sense to you?
What doesn't
Please
make
explain what doesn't make sense? They went all out just for a thing like that.
Yes, dude.
But back then, they
listen, bro. Listen, dude. Listen. You're telling me that Rockefeller, Rothschild, and all these dudes would spend a couple $1 billion a year on something that just loses money? That they just want to do something for the fun for the people? Like, come on, dude. Like, what? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean, dog? What do you mean,
there was
bro?
more to it. It could be something
you
really
think,
deep,
dog?
or it could be that, or it could be that maybe that's when all the husbands, they all told their wives, "Look, we got to go to the fair. It's for the people. We do this for the people." Then they go there and they're just fucking, hookers and, touching little ping-pings in that little crown jewel area.
Bro, look at the height of these columns, dude. Look at these things. They're massive, dude. In the detail on these things.
That's what I was gonna say,
yo. Huge, bro.
Like forget about like I always say, they always talk the pyramids. How the fuck did they build these things if they didn't have like fucking if they didn't have big fucking
Well, hold on. Dude, do you want me to show you? Because I'll show you. It shows you in that video that we watched how they built these. And then what I want to do is I want to show you the video of what they say is construction and then show you the footage I took. That's what I'm kicking, dude. When you look at them side by side,
look, you guys
nuts.
asked for this, just so you know. All right. You guys asked for this. You wanted to go on this ride. All right. This ride was requested. You guys basically stood on the line and fucking waited to get on this ride. So go ahead, Brian, take us down this path. My phone straight up jumped from your live to your podcast on Spotify, and it did it so fluently, I didn't realize it was no longer watching your live.
I want to play this from the beginning, dude.
Now, yeah, but what I was gonna, I don't even remember what I was gonna say. Go ahead. Let's go down. Let's go down your path, man.
So this is again, this is the beginning of that video. I want you to watch it from the beginning so you can actually see like the flow and what they're trying to push. This is the ferry. This is the ferry building in San Francisco, right? It's a very famous building.
The fair had everything. When you tired of the auto racing, you could always watch the camels run.
Ah, shit.
You weren't chasing after the penny toss car or gawking at the movie stars and celebrities. Sarah Buckle and Mabel Normand, for instance.
Pause that 1 second real quick. You know, Sam Buckle got screwed too, right? For like fucking pedo shit.
Is that who that was? Sam Buckle?
Yeah, that whatever his name is, that actor. He was huge.
If you
then he
weren't
got caught up
after the
with those pedo plums.
Sam Buckle.
And the funny thing is, I don't know if it was true or they just ruined his career. But either way, different story.
I can't tell if you're fucking with me right now.
No, I'm not fucking with you.
What's the guy's name?
I don't remember. It's not important. Come on, let's continue with what you're saying. It's that fat dude, man. He had some sort of crazy
hold on, dude. Hold on. Because I think that is actually a good thing that I think we need to stop on that, bro. Because I think that might play.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they just went there and was doing freaky shit.
Or gawking at the movie stars and celebrities.
That dude.
Sarah Buckle and Mabel Normand, for instance.
Starbuckle,
yeah. There you go. Yeah, Fatty Arbuckle. That's his name, Arbuckle. Traveling runner, always on point, man.
Dude.
Yeah, he got caught up in some shit, dude. Listen, that's Hollywood. You think, Hollywood, that's what was going on.
Silent film actor, comedian, director, and screenwriter. Started at the Selig Polyscope Company trials scandal. Here we go. On September 5th, 1921, Arbuckle took a break from his hectic film schedule, and despite suffering from second-degree burns to his buttocks from an accident on set, drove to San Francisco with two friends, Lowell Sherman and Fred Fishback. The three checked into 3 rooms at the St. Francis Hotel, right? 1219, blah, blah, blah. Several women were invited to the suite. During the cruising, 30-year-old aspiring actress named Virginia Rape.
I'm sorry. That's not fucking funny at all, man. But sometimes the jokes write themselves.
Was found seriously ill in a room 1219. It was examined by a doctor, which concluded her symptoms were mostly caused by intoxication and gave her morphine to calm down. Rape was not hospitalized until 2 days after the incident. At the hospital, Rape's companion at the party,
we're gonna get fucking thrown off YouTube just for saying the bitch's name.
Told the doctor. Why you gotta call her the B word, dude?
I don't know, because it's early and I have no filter. That was wrong with me. I apologize. Before anybody
at the point,
why I gotta be bitches?
Delmont told the doctor that Arbuckle had raped her friend.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that Arbuckle raped?
Dude, I think Arbuckle raped in the cellar.
Third base.
Shit.
This is right up there with Blackie Johnson.
I know, dude. Oh man. Delmont then told police that Arbuckle had raped Rape. The police concluded that the impact of Arbuckle's overweight body lying on top of Rape have eventually caused her bladder to rupture. Oh! At a later press conference, Rape's manager accused Arbuckle of using a piece of ice to stimulate sex with Rape, thus leading to her injuries. By the time the story was reported, the object had evolved into a Coca-Cola or champagne bottle. In fact, witnesses testified that Arbuckle rubbed the ice on Rape's stomach to ease her abdominal pain.
Yeah, I didn't know that was the hole we were jumping into, people. I apologize for that one. But I was wrong.
Well, listen,
it wasn't some pedo shit. It was just,
Oh, hold on, dude. We're not done yet.
Oh.
He made a plan to run for governor. Dude, he got charged with first-degree murder, bro.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's right. And it ruined his career. You know what happened? Everything was good until he started a podcast and started going against the going against the agenda.
All right. Okay. So, oh, here we go. First time commenter.
First time commenter. Valdez says, "Hey, what's up? What's up? Welcome to the show. And if you haven't already, like and smash that like button and follow." Yes, all right. So Arbuckle was there hanging out.
Yeah, so Arbuckle was there, right?
So they're already keeping good company.
Yeah.
Lead the band in the court of the universe. There were daredevils to amaze you.
Oh.
And others in the air.
Wow, look at this.
Why don't they do that trick anymore?
And history too.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about what went on with those dances.
And beautiful animals. It was the most wonderful thing that ever happened to San Francisco.
And now let's look at San Francisco now. Arbuckle would be rolling over in his grave.
That's funny, dude. That's funny. And I thought this was weird too. Okay, so look, there's the palace, right? You got yeah, it's still about Tartaria. We're still on Tartaria, bro.
I'm sorry, Raymond. We.
It's still Tartaria.
Yeah, no, we're still talking about. He's talking about the fair,
the World's Fair,
the World's Fair, which is that Tartarian shit he's talking about. And then they showed that Fatty Arbuckle was there. I made the comment that Fatty Arbuckle got caught up in some scandal shit. I thought it was touching little peepees, and wound up it was rape and murdering her because he was too fat. Man.
She didn't die, dude.
She didn't die?
No, he just ruptured her stomach.
But I think she died because then you say he got charged with murder.
He killed somebody else.
Oh, word? Man, Fatty Arbuckle got around. So, all right,
back to the fair.
Back to the fair.
So the Innocent Fair that's what they called it, right? And this is the only place that I've ever seen it say the Innocent Fair. I haven't found that on any other
Dude,
Pacific.
They were going there to get their freak on.
Now listen, bro. Now listen. Another part of the Tartarian theory is okay.
Take a deep breath.
Around this same time, right? Prior to so San Francisco had, this is 1915, the World's Fair, right? 1906 was the earthquake, right? 1865 was the Civil War. 1849 was the gold rush in San Francisco, right? In the mid 1800s, we built railroads to go all the way across the United States, right? Years railroad built in US, right? To West Coast, right? So yeah, the Transcontinental Railroad, wiki. So here you go. So the Transcontinental Railroad, right? 1869, and started in Alameda Terminal, Oakland, San Francisco Bay. Opened in 1869, right? Now Union Pacific built the railroad from Nebraska to here, and then these are just other rail line companies, right? So prior to the 1860s, it was just the East Coast was populated in the US, right? So they built this railroad, 2,000 miles of continuous railroad between 1863 and 1869, right? Now, during this time, the Civil War was going on, right? So let me just double check to make sure I'm right. 1861 to 1865. So for 2 years while this was going on, we were building a railroad across the country in a different part of the country that the war was not going on in, right? These railroads were built supposedly by Chinese slaves. Really, they were Chinese indentured servants who built the railroads with dynamite and hammers and nails, right, through the fucking Rockies. Now, I would actually argue, bro, that you couldn't walk from Nebraska to California in 2 years, not building anything, let alone build a railroad all the way across that far in 4, right? That's the argument that I would make, right? Just thinking about it logically. Are you with me on that a little bit?
I'm with you. Maybe
Yeah.
they were taking the railroad as they built it.
I don't know.
Sometimes I just
so now
challenge myself
now let
to see
me
how
get
stupid I could be.
let me get a little deeper, right? So I want to talk about a guy named James Clare Flood. I want to talk about a guy named Mark Hopkins. Right. So again, San Francisco, big earthquake in 1906, right?
Yeah.
However, several billions of Tartarian ilk did not fall and are still standing to this day, right?
What's ilk?
In Tartarian style, right? In the style that one would consider Tartarian, right? And this is actually the Beyonce Cathedral that I showed you before, right? That's one of them, right? Now the other one is this building here, which I'm actually going to show you. I'm going to show you pictures of it first, right? This building. Now you see the columns, the work, right?
Yeah.
This sort of, iron gate. Now, as you can see, there's the cathedral that I'm talking about in the background, right?
Yeah.
There's this park right here with these creepy little,
What's going on over there?
These creepy little kids dancing, right? Okay.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, they're dancing.
That shit look like.
Mm-hmm. Gee, just stay with me, bro. Just please listen.
All
okay.
Right,
just stop. Just stop.
Just get that picture out of there. All right, thank you.
Okay, so now this building is also on there. I'm gonna go down to the street view here, bro.
I'm such a child.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I really know nothing, because I can't. This is why I wasn't a good student.
Okay, so I just want to take you up a walk down the street, right? So we walk up this street in San Francisco, right? Now the first thing that I want to show you here is bang.
Don't walk so fast. Go ahead.
This Tartarian as fuck cathedral. This is the Grace Cathedral, right?
Can we go inside?
We can, but we're not going to go inside just yet. I'll circle back to all of these buildings. I just want to show you this neighborhood, right?
Yeah, show me the neighborhood.
So again, 1906 earthquake in San Francisco destroys the entire city. Now, the history says it's not the earthquake that destroys the city, but the fires after the earthquake, right?
Like Building 7. Raymond says, those statues look like the beginning of pegging. Thank you for saying that, Raymond. It's nice to know I'm not alone in this world. Okay.
Now hold up. So 1906, there's a 7.9 magnitude earthquake, right? They say that this was built after that earthquake, right?
Okay.
And that this church was located in a different area of the neighborhood, not far, right? But it got leveled during the earthquake, yet they rebuilt it in like 2 fucking years. Bro.
Before unions. Don't take no break. Get that shit up.
Dog, look at this, bro.
It's fucking beautiful.
And
can't say
now,
it's not beautiful. Like, I'm just thinking about like those old, like, like the Caesar, old Rome, those buildings where they had those crazy shit with all that. Like, it's bad enough you got to get up that pole, right? The fucking, what do they call those? Those long poles in the front. What do they call those, Brian?
What do you mean? The columns?
Columns. It's bad enough you got to get those columns up, right? Mm-hmm. Now this motherfucker want to put ridges in it. Now the dude will come up to you and be like, I think I want to have like, a nice little design going around. And you're like, what? Motherfucker, now I got to go and put a design on this shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And what did they use to do that, man? Because even that shit's not even like off. It's like smooth as silk.
Right. And now I just like, let me point out like a couple other, you know, just
Maybe they use a
I
laser
want to
beam
show you
to
guys
hide the eyes.
symbolism, right? Just symbolism, right? See all of these things right here. These are obelisks, right? You see
Yeah.
this shape right here. This is what the Washington Monument is, right?
Yeah,
Which is
big old pecker.
which is a Masonic symbol that we see all over Egypt, right? Now
Yeah.
you also see crosses, right? You see these little. It almost looks like kind of a bell, like a bell top, right? You have really big doors, crosses, and
That's
then
what he said.
yeah, and then on, see, you can't see the spire, dude, but there's the spire from this thing, right? Grace Cathedral. Here, read that comment, G, while we're
Raymond says
waiting.
there's a special mortal molds masons, concrete workers used to create those details. Mortar molds.
Are you saying mortar molds? Yeah, like it's concrete. Here's another image of the church.
I'd still be frustrated.
Right. So this is a wider, and this is the thing that I wanted to show you is this spire, right? And I've taken some shots of San Francisco where you can see these kind of spires all over the place. So the Tartarian theory, dude, is that people used to go into these things before, you know, the church, you know, took these things over. These weren't places of worship. They were a place to renew your energy, a place that you would go in and you would tap into this ether and you would kind of get like recharged, right? That's what they say it is. Right?
I've never heard that word mentioned so much in all my life and in one day. And I remember when the song Nas's song came out, I listened to it at least 5 times in a row. Go ahead, say ether again. Say it. I fucking dare you. Say it.
Okay. Now, so hold on. So this is great.
Mark, is that what is that? Is that LOL for his whole theory? Are you just sitting there laughing? Is the alien guy just laughing at the Tartarian dude right now? Go ahead, make him a believer, make him a skeptic.
All right, you ready, dog? You ready? So this
Go
is
ahead.
Grace Cathedral, right? Do you know what this is? Oh, a Masonic temple? Oh, weird, bro. Weird. Oh, a Masonic temple. Oh, ooh.
Mark's laughing at your whole theory, and he's probably thinking right now.
Ooh.
He's probably thinking, well, they got to put him somewhere.
Right next to each other, Wabbit. Right next to each other.
Oh, please says G giggles every time you say ether. All he can hear in his head is, I fuck with your soul like ether. Fuck Jay-Z. I keep hearing that. And I keep hearing when he goes, when he says, you was ugly. And I'm thinking that didn't even rhyme with nothing. He just called the motherfucker ugly. That always makes me laugh. Raymond says maybe the Tartarians were some kind of aliens. Maybe they coincide somehow. Raymond, I like the way you're trying to bring Mark and Brian together to coexist together. But why can't they? Why can't they? Why can't, you know?
All right, so let me continue down
the Tartarians were the original aliens.
Let me continue down the neighborhood. Let me continue down the neighborhood, right? Okay, so we have Masonic Temple, Grace Cathedral, right? Okay.
And then Grace Cathedral is what? Is that like a Catholic church?
Dude, this is the Beyonce church, bro.
That's the Beyonce church.
Yes, dude. Okay. Yes, this is the Beyonce church that I've been telling you that we've been talking about, right? So now this little park here, conveniently built in 1915, right? These were all those little diddler fucking fountains were, right?
Stop walking so fast.
This is that building that I was just showing you, dude. That Pacific Union Club, right? This is what's known as the James C. Flood Mansion, right? This was somebody's house that they built, right?
That was a house.
Correct.
Man, some people got money.
Now, this right here,
this right here, watching my fucking ceiling fall
is the Fairmont Hotel, right? Now, again, look at all these architectural details, right? And
look, Mark.
We'll look at the similarities on the Palace of Fine Arts, right? And then you swing around this way and you have this building here, right, dude? Same archway, kind of Greco-Roman type. Same thing here, dude. You see these columns, like, you know, I'm just looking at architectural similarities, and then you also start to, you know, right now, this particular building right here is the Mark Hopkins, right? Now, Mark Hopkins was one of the dudes who built the railroad from the Sierra Nevadas to Sacramento, right? His boy was James Clair Flood, right? Now, James Clair Flood is the guy who had this big ass house.
Ooh.
So Flood, who's a silver magnate, right? That owned like silver mines all over California, silver and gold.
It explains the house.
Correct. Who was boys with the guy who built the railroad.
Man,
right?
He was flexing.
Right. And
the whole neighborhood, the whole block. What's this building? It's a house.
And they had their house next to the Masonic Temple.
Short walk.
And the cathedral again, and then a park, right? And I think under the park, dude, is where they're diddling. I think there's a tunnel underneath that park, dude. I'm convinced, bro. Because you look at it and it goes like this, and then it goes up and over, dude. I'm guaranteed there's shit underneath that park, bro.
Well, you would know. You've been underneath the ground.
Not there.
In Washington. In Washington, you was underneath the ground, dude. That's, you know.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of memories you don't want to remember.
So what okay.
You ever have dreams where you're running through those tunnels as a young Page?
Dog, I need to go. I need to bring it home.
Like just your
I'm
tie
close to
and
bringing
your
it
button
home.
down and a pair of socks, and you're running, trying to get away. You don't know from what.
Are you done?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So now back to the history of the Pacific Union Club. It's a social club located at, on top of Nob Hill. It is considered to be one of the most elite club on the West Coast and one of the most elite clubs in the United States, along with the Knickerbocker Club in New York, the Metropolitan Club in Washington, D.C., and the Somerset Club in Boston. And I guess if we look into those, there'll be a lot of Skull and Bones members, a lot of Illuminati, a lot of WEF. A lot of WEF alumni associations, dude.
If those walls could talk, man,
it's like,
probably...
don't no,
somebody call the cops.
Yeah.
Oh wait, never mind. The police chief is in the other room.
Okay, so it was founded in 1889 as a merger of the two earlier clubs, the Pacific Club and the Union Club, right? Founded in 1854. The clubhouse was built as the home for silver magnate James Clair Flood, who was an American businessman. And then the former Flood Mansion is located in the Nob Hills, designed by this guy, Willis Polk, whatever. And it was considered the first brownstone. And then it was constructed across the street from this hotel, right? Mm-hmm. The one that I just showed you, right?
Is this still a club now? Or is it still?
It's the Pacific Union Club still, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Let's see if we know. Dude, James William Randolph Hearst. The Hearst family, these guys are the reason that I don't know, weed was illegal. The dude who went on that whole like accusing, like reefer madness and all, all that stuff. Hearst, Robert McNamara, former U.S. Secretary of Defense, Southern Pacific Railroad, Charles Schwab, like dude.
Yeah, man. I agree, bro. He's feisty today.
Right. So now
someone had a good sleep.
The earthquake, dude, none of these buildings got destroyed, right? None of them. None of these buildings got destroyed.
Did they get any damage?
No, dude.
They just stood up?
Yeah. Now what I want to
have did they have blue roofs?
Dude.
Those are my people who've been paying attention from the beginning. Did they have blue roofs?
Now, I want to show you a little bit more about this railroad guy, right? And then I want to get back into the railroads, and I want to get back into Tartaria, and I'm going to get that into diddling, right?
Okay. See, now you just got me back interested again, because I ain't going to lie. This is getting very estrogen-y.
All right. Now, listen. So the guy who built the railroad, right? So now let's go back to the railroad getting built in a very short period of time. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, right? Whether or not
they took the railroad while they were building it.
Correct. Now, so the guy who built the railroad, this was his house that was in that neighborhood that is no longer here, right? This is the Mark Hopkins mansion, which to me, dog, looks very Tartarian, right? You see, they got these little, they got these.
Also, it looks a little Transylvanian too. Like, would you be surprised if Dracula lived there?
Dude, look,
you know what I'm saying? Like, would you be surprised if you heard Dracula once lived here?
Look at this thing,
like, yeah, that seems right.
Doesn't this look like fantasy, like from like, you know, a fantasy world? And this is his hotel, dude. The one that I just showed you. That's still building. Right
now, what happened to his house? Did it get fuck up in the earthquake?
I will tell you.
I agree with you again, bro.
Okay, he died without leaving a will, right?
That's always fun to do, man. Let the family fight it out.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than when someone really rich doesn't leave a will. That's when you get to see where the family's made of, dog. Everybody starts going at each other, trying to get that money. Forensic Files gets a couple of new episodes. You know, that's awesome.
So he was known as one of the big four. He was one of the founders of the Central Pacific Railroad. He chose to build his mansion in Nob Hill, fellow multimillionaires of the Gilded Ages. He did not see it was completed. It was completed in 1878 after his death. The mansion was a showpiece. It survived the devastating 1906 earthquake, but sadly was destroyed in the fire that followed the days later.
It's that fucking fire, dog. After, you know, that.
But, dude, the interesting part is the fire didn't hit any of those other buildings that was around there, dog. That's what I'm saying. The fire didn't hit his boy's mansion, who was across the street, or his hotel, dog.
Because this motherfucker said, I don't like the color blue. He said, that shit looks stupid. Look at this. Look at this mansion. You think I'm going to fuck it up with a blue fucking ceiling? Raymond says, have a lot of houses like that up here in New England.
Right. And the Gilded Age.
Big up New England.
And the Gilded Age, and that whole era of Gilded Age is, they think, is the Tartarian age. You know?
Mark, are you at least skeptic? Are you at least a Tartarian skeptic now? Has he said anything to sway you?
Okay.
That he might be onto something. You know, because right now, I'm not going to lie, me personally, I'm like, okay.
All right. So now I want to talk to you about the orphan trains, right? Have you heard about these?
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. So the orphan trains, right?
Cyril says no, dude.
Yeah, I don't really give a
Well, listen, maybe the orphan trains will get you, Cyril. Hold on.
So the orphan train movement was a supervised welfare program that transported children from crowded eastern cities of the United States to foster homes located largely in rural areas of the Midwest.
Oh, man, that was like the most open-ended freaking diddling scheme ever. Let's take your poor kids and we'll bring them into a rich man's house. Let him live there for a while. You know, we'll find a way to make him earn his keep. Get the fuck out of here.
You're with me now, right, dog? Come on. Pull. Get you pulling in. All right, you ready? All right. Hold on. So we have these orphan trains.
Peace out, bro.
Yeah, peace out, bro. Thanks for listening.
Coming through, man.
So the orphan trains operated between 1854 and 1929, and what we found out a second ago,
as the orphan train.
Yeah. So the Transcontinental Railroad was finished in 1869, right? A few years after these orphan trains started. The co-founders of the orphan train movement claimed that these children were orphaned, abandoned, abused, or homeless, but this was not always true. They were mostly the children of new immigrants and the children of poor and destitute families living in the cities. Criticisms of the programs included ineffective screening of caretakers, insufficient follow-ups, and that many children were used strictly as slave farm labor, right?
Among other things.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. Among other things.
The first orphan train. Dude, look at this, bro.
Wanted. Homes for children.
A company of homeless children from the East will arrive, Troy, Missouri, on Friday, February 15th. These children of various ages and sexes having been thrown friendless upon the world. They come under the Suspicious of Children AIDS the Children's Aid Society of New York. We got to look that up, dude.
Yeah. If you think that was on the up and up, you're insane. You're insane. If you think
Dude,
for a
it's
second,
still going on, bro.
it's still going on.
Oh, dude.
No fucking way. No way.
Dude, all the proceeds from this podcast will be donated to the Children's Aid. That's worth 142 milli, dog. Charles Loring Oh, dude, Brace, bro. This is the guy.
Did you see it? Brian's head just exploded.
Founded by Yale College graduate. Now, I just want to let you guys know something. Anybody you see graduate from Yale, that is skull and fucking bones.
Yeah, man.
That's what that means, dog.
That's
you graduated from Yale, skull and fucking bones, dog.
Yeah, man. That's tied up in the basement with like 14 other dudes. You know what I'm saying? Each person got something fucking spray painted on their chest and hot dogs in their assholes as they just try to quote the fucking
So in 1853, the Children's Aid was founded by Yale graduate and philanthropist Charles Loring Brace with financial support from New York businessman Jeffrey Epstein. Wait, what? What did that say? To ensure the physical and emotional well-being of children. Blah, 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 blah.
It's like anything else. When they say they're doing this, they're doing the opposite. That's what's always going on.
Brace believed the institutional care stunted and destroyed children. His view was only work, education, and strong family life could help them develop into self-reliant citizens. Brace knew that the American pioneers could use help settling the American West.
Look, man.
This became known as the orphan train movement. These children were encouraged to break completely with the past and would arrive in a town where community leaders assembled interested townspeople for inspection and selection. The program was controversial as some abolitionists used it as a form of slavery. Some Catholics deemed it to be anti-Catholic, while a significant percentage of poor children in Manhattan were Irish Catholic. I'm surprised the Catholics weren't down with that shit, dog.
They were.
Yeah, it seems like they sponsored it, dog.
Come on, man. There's some way they were. The motherfuckers is freaks. Yo, that's horrible that it's still around because I can tell you this right now. I know that nothing good's coming out of that for the kids, man. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it. I don't believe you. You need more people.
Okay. So we're at the trains, right?
The orphan trains.
So we have these orphan trains, right? And okay. So I just want to go back to the World's Fair.
Please bring us back to the World's Fair.
The list of events was staggering. This stock show competed with the Japanese wrestlers.
That chick went on to work at one of the massage parlors in San Francisco.
Or entering your child in the baby parade.
The baby parade. Come on, man. This is where they put all the children on display. Smile big for the pedos. This feels wrong just watching this.
We're watching the whole thing, dude.
This feels wrong. I don't know why, but I just feel
it is
something sinister.
That's because it is, dude. Look, it is. They look like adults, though, bro. Those ones look like adults.
No, there was nothing adult about that.
One of the great charms of the Panama Pacific International Exposition was that it combined all of the blandishments of a country fair.
You think some of them nasty bitches was fucking the horses? Why does my mind think like that, man? Somebody, please. I could probably get something out of going to talk to someone. You know.
I'm sure you could, dude. Besides me.
Diane Marie says, Gary, you must be Ashkenazi. Did I say it right? Ashkenazi?
Yeah.
Would you please look that up? What are the Ashkenazi Jews, man? Because I might be one. I want to know what it is. That I want to know if that's a compliment or a diss. I'm feeling like it might be a diss. Knowing where it's coming from. Inbred. The inbred.
Ashkenazi are known as the Jews of Germania, also known as Ashkenazic Jews or Ashkenazism, are a Jewish diaspora population who formed in the Holy Roman Empire around the first millennium CE. Their traditional diaspora language is Yiddish, with Jewish and Slavic linguistic elements.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, according, not from me, but from Diana, inbred.
So I just want to give a quick shout out to the Mind Unveiled channel, which I do really first want to say that I have thought a lot while watching these Tartarian videos and all these other conspiracy videos is like, maybe it's all just a psyop, dog.
You think?
Like all of it. Like all of it is just one big psyop. Like all of these different theories that are out there. I mean, dude, like, you know, the American history book's a psyop, right? And then these false explanations, like Tartaria is another psyop. You know what I mean? Like, it's just all misdirections. Just tons of misdirections.
I mean, yeah, probably. What am I supposed to say to that?
You can't. Nothing.
It could all be fake. It could all be true.
World Photoshop. We began to notice a trend with old postcards from the 1900s showing early examples of compositing. There isn't much information on these. If there's a catalog, it's not easy to come by. But many of these are early.
This is from a Tartarian channel,
manipulation,
right?
They had these old postcards.
So they were saying these orphan trains
started to become apparent,
right? And they used to sell these postcards to these kids.
Simple baby postcards. At first thought, seems like any ordinary postcard. But as with the Same Sky postcard mystery, where the author began to see a trend of a variety of postcards.
You think there's a trend?
There's a category of postcards that deserves its own name and label, but it doesn't seem very well known, as there are no websites or videos explaining this.
I'll let you guys go into that if you want.
Pedo cards, man.
Well, they're called repopulation postcards.
Yeah, pedo
That's
cards.
what this guy calls them. Cabbage Cat Kids, 1800s cloning, and Babylon of babies.
I'm laughing because Diana said you said that, clown. I didn't say that, yo. I was reading what you said. All right, well, technically, I guess I said it. You wrote it, I said it. Only said, did you fall for the Tartarian misdirection? I know Mark didn't. You haven't swayed his needle at all, Brian.
Can I show you just some more videos of this fucking thing?
I don't know. I know you're gonna.
See?
You know, look,
Beautiful,
I'm not gonna
right?
front. Yeah, they made beautiful shit back then, man. If you look at everything now, it's just ugly.
Yeah.
All the new shit going up is ugly. It's all like just glass and fucking weird angles. You know, go back to the castles, man. Them dudes were flexing those mansions, dude. You know?
Yeah.
That fucking dude, that dude was like, that's not a mansion. This is a mansion.
All right, so this is some here. I'm just gonna
You're
show
like
you.
your voice is like fucking up right now, your mic.
Can you hear me? We good?
Yeah, now I hear you.
Test
Yeah,
1, 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So okay, yeah, this is the one thing I wanted to see. So see how there are these swastikas here, right? Which is the design that you see all over the world in every culture and in stuff that they consider Tartarian, right? And then you let's see if I zoom in on them, dude. Look at these little baby angels, bro, on these little urns and these little pots. They're all over the place. And it's like, dude, you're gonna tell me that this doesn't mean anything? Like they were just Like what, bro? And then look at these. So this is inside, right? All these same columns, the same. Hey, you're not listening to me. You're not
Go
looking.
ahead. I'm listening. I'm listening. Go ahead, man.
You're not looking.
I am. I'm
babies?
looking.
You see the babies?
I see the
And then
babies.
you got all of the same column structures, and then, dude, you got these angels, bro. You don't care.
No,
He's
no,
done.
go
He's
back
done.
to it. I do care.
Nope.
I do care.
Yeah.
Go back
He's
to it.
done.
Let me see the
Nope.
angels. Let me see
Nope.
the angels.
I'm gonna get a better
Let me see the
shot of the
angels.
All right, I'm gonna get
There's
you.
a reason why.
Better.
There's a reason why I lost attention, and I will show you when you're done. Go ahead. Keep showing me. I'm sorry. You got my full attention. I was trying to find something that was going to what you were saying, but I'll look later. Go ahead.
Hold on. I'm trying to find a good shot of them. Here you go. Here's one of them.
Your mic's doing that shit again. I don't know why.
Oh, is it? Can you hear me? 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Now I hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Man,
So,
look
like,
at that
so, like,
ceiling,
you got-
dude.
Yeah, bro. What? Yeah, I know, dude. Look.
Ceiling, man.
Like, see the swastikas?
Yeah, everywhere. Little children.
Yeah. And then look at that. Look at these fuckers thing, dude. They're massive, bro.
Yeah, man. I could just imagine, man. Like when the dude wanted that ceiling, man. Whoever had to do that shit was like, really? Look at all the detail in that fucking arch. That shit is fucking insane, man.
Yeah, dude. And
That
then
shit
they
is
have like
insane.
things like this everywhere, dude. Everywhere you look, there's some sort of this, all right? Just, I mean, dude, just like the level of detail, like in this, bro, in this, and like, you tell me this is 100 years old. It's 100 years old. That's what you want to tell me. It's 100 years old. 110.
It's 100 years
Right.
old. Hey, I want to send you something because you started showing me this shit. Hold on. I gotta send this to you, man. I was out in Philly and you're gonna find this amazing. Hold on. I just gotta find it.
Oh, here's a good one, dude. This is from the from the tops. Just like the level of detail, dude, that is in all this shit. It's just, it's insane, bro. And these are like
Yeah, that's
50,
crazy,
60 feet
man.
up in the air. Look,
That
look,
shit
and
is
then you
crazy.
got, you know. And the interesting part, G, and this is what I'm saying, is that all of this little like molding, this like dental molding, and then this kind of design, bro, it's on every building in San
It's
Francisco.
on everything.
Like, even, like,
Hold
dude,
on.
even
Dude,
the
they got
houses.
that shit
like,
in
like,
Philly.
look,
Hold on. I gotta
look.
find it, man. Now I gotta find it.
Yeah, look. You see San Francisco, bro. Look, it has like all, shit like this. Like they got these rounded windows. Like, dude, I'm telling you, every piece of architecture in the city does not look legit. I mean, it looks legit, but it just doesn't fit.
Yeah, I mean, they just also make shit better now. I mean, they make shit worse now. Back in the day, they cared about their shit, man. But hold on, I gotta show you this, man. This is crazy, dude. I don't remember when I took this video. Hold on. Fuck, man. Where is it? It's coming up. It's gotta be here somewhere. And it just came up the other day, too. And I was like, ah, fuck, I gotta send this to Brian. I don't know
I'm
how
trying to
to
find
just
some
go
other
to my
pictures that I
videos.
took too. You just have to search for them, dog.
I'm searching, man. It's just I got so much shit. I actually ran out of memory on my fucking whatchamacallit. I gotta like get some pictures developed and shit. Because they want me to pay for more memory. I'm not paying for more memory. Kiss my ass.
Nah, yeah, you can't do that. They didn't have any way to spend their time. No phones, no video, no porn, just carving stones. It was a tough existence.
Yeah, I guess, right? Yeah, they had more time to put into it. I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. Like people they don't got the time to put into it anymore.
All right, so this is from that video. This
At
is the
the
palace.
opposite end of the fairground stood everybody's favorite building, Bernard Maybeck's wonderful Palace of Fine Arts. It stood reflected in its lagoon as if it were a dream solidified. Even before the exposition was over, the people of San Francisco were demanding that the Palace of Fine Arts be preserved.
See, they're saying in this video that the people of the city demanded it be preserved. That they demanded that.
Go ahead, I'm listening to you. I found what I was looking for. Hold
Yeah,
on.
so yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. So here, I'll just back it up a second.
Fine. Even before the exposition was over, the people of San Francisco were demanding that the Palace of Fine Arts be preserved.
Not
This
taken down.
colorful pageant was staged to help.
This altar isn't there
publicize
anymore.
their effort.
I'm disturbed by all the children in these things, man.
I
There
know,
is a
dude.
bold, imaginative quality about
This
this pageant.
altar's all gone.
Here is a lost art, lost along with our innocence. For who would
Innocence.
take all this as seriously today as it was taken in the fall of 1915?
It's almost like he's saying that they were mourning a loss of something, dude. Listen to it
Their
again.
effort. There is a bold, imaginative quality about this pageant. Here is a lost art, lost along with our innocence. For who would take all this as seriously today as it was taken in the fall of 1915?
The good old days, man. When you could buy heroin on the corner. I don't know. It's fucked up that when he talks about innocence, I look at that, and for some reason, every time I see the kids, that
Well,
should
dude,
just be like an
and-
innocent thing that kids are dancing around. What's the big deal?
And
And now I
that's
look at all that shit, and I'm
the
just
thing.
like, something
The
ain't
thing
right.
that freaked me out first, bro, was in the opening. The title, it says "The Innocent Fair," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
I'm like, what does that even mean?
that means it's nothing innocent about it.
Yeah.
Look at what I just sent you on Instagram. You're gonna love this. This is in Philly. This was a while ago. I think it was during COVID that I went out there like for the first time to just walk around. But I was taking in some of the sites and put the volume on it too, so you can hear my play-by-plays.
All right. Why is it doing this?
Put that shit up, yo. I meant to post this a long time ago, and I never did. I forgot. Make sure the volume's up.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Philly don't give a shit. They got little boy peepees on their walls, yo. They don't care. Boobies and testes everywhere, man. Big up Philly.
Dude, let's look, right? So they have a lion, right? Then they have a winged being. Like who are these people, bro? This was
That chick
They
got
got
fucking
little
Poseidon, dude.
peepees on
Poseidon's
their
in the middle.
walls, yo.
That's
They
a little kid, by the way. Look at the little
Dude.
kid with his little pee out.
Bro, what is this little symbol right here, bro? The
Isn't
little
that the acorn?
corkscrews. Mhm.
Isn't that acorn?
The
I
acorn.
don't know. The little acorn in the back of your brain. That's on top of the Pope's
Oh,
fucking
the
pole.
third eye.
Yeah. I don't know. But look at that shit, right? Crazy. They went the extra mile, man. They put skin tone on that shit, man. They put colors on their shit, yo.
All right, dude. So now we really have to go deep. I don't know if you're ready for it, bro. I don't know. I don't know if you can handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Okay. So we're familiar with the Mormons, right?
Well, I know of them.
Right.
I don't think I even know a Mormon.
Well,
Do
yeah.
you know a Mormon?
Yeah, I know a few.
Yeah, if I
Right.
do, I don't know.
Okay.
They're
So
not practicing professionals. They don't have to.
this is the Mormon temple, right? Now, I'm not going to lie, dog. This looks just like the cathedral in San Francisco. Does it not?
Yeah, it has the same look.
Right.
Those
Okay.
are very thin windows, man.
Well, it's because they don't want to let the ether out. Read it, dude. Read
They
it.
called you ugly. Raymond says, I've been waiting for Brian to get deeper. It's been just a surface scratch right now. Yeah, man. Right now, dog, like I said, you ain't moving no needles, dude.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
know?
Well, listen.
You got me. Look, you got me bugging on that orphan train shit, man.
Right. So hold
I'm
on.
gonna have to
Right.
look into that.
So you've seen these, right? These they're biblical or whatever it's called, a globus cruciger, which basically means a cross-bearing orb, right? And it's a let me I'll pull the wiki article back up, so I'm not just talking out of my ass, right? The cross represents Christ's dominion over the orb of the world. It's a Christian symbol of authority since the Middle Ages, right? Okay. Well, Tartarians believe that this little orb thing was their ball of power that connected them to the ether, right? Now, on the top of all of these cathedrals and all of these dome buildings, they have these things, right? So now I'm just going to go to Grace Cathedral top, right? Let me see if I can find the image of it, right? Not the best, right? Not
Brian's
the
lecture
best.
today, man. I'm just sitting back and taking a ride with you guys, man.
Spire. Does it have the spire? Yeah, here you go. I don't know if you have it big. Here we go. Boom. So this is the spire. So you see how that like thing's on the top there? Let me see if I can get a better image of it. Yeah, there's nothing really good. Okay, so you see that it's up there, right?
Yeah, I see it's up there.
Do you see this? See how there's little radio signals coming out of this fucking image that they designed?
Yeah.
Woo, boy! So that is actually what the Tartarians believe, is that this is where
But wait a
the
minute.
energy.
But wait a minute, dude. That's from a thing called Above the Fog podcast.
Correct.
So they just might be a bunch of Tartarian nuts like you.
No. This is just some podcast from the cathedral, right? But like, dude, all I'm saying is, look at this fucking thing. You see how there's the ball and then the top, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you go to top of Mormon Temple, Salt Lake, right? They've actually changed it to where they have the ball with this person, Moroni, right? This at the top, right? These are the things that they have. And this is one of those like old Tartarian, they say like energy devices, right? And there's, some other symbolism and shit that I could show you, but this is what's on top of the temple now. It's no longer a cross, but they've changed it to this ball with this thing, right?
Yeah. Is that gold?
Now, it is gold. Yeah, it is.
Raymond says, reminds me of a Christmas tree star. Yes.
Interesting. You could say that, right? Because they...
I wish I had Brian's excitement when I need to work.
I wish I had this excitement for literally anything productive.
Stormy, it's like anything else, man. He didn't always have this excitement. The more he looked into it, the more excited he got. The more you work out, the more you start to crave working out. So it's just consistency and, diving in the way he's diving in.
Yeah. So,
Your way of doing things is probably more productive than Brian. He's just slowly melting away. But listen.
So look, hold on. So this is that Mormon temple, right? Again, same design features.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, it's not exactly the same, but it's very fucking similar, right?
Yes, it is.
So they have these things. They have these
thing.
Right. They have these things on top, right? Okay. Now this is some other crazy shit that I found out, right? So Joseph Smith, right, finds these Mormon temples, right? He found them. I'm gonna go. Let's just go over. We'll just do this entire screen too, right? born in New York State, blah, blah, blah. Where did he find the tablets? Right. God, they killed him too. Okay, so Smith said he relieved the golden tablets, or the golden plates from the angel Moroni at the hill of Cumorah, right? So this is in Palmyra, New York, right? It's called Gold Bible Hill or Inspiration Point, right? So I just want to go.
Inspiration Point. Isn't that where they used to go to make out in Happy Days?
Yeah.
Right? Inspiration
Yeah.
Point.
Yeah.
Is that Dulles? Did we just see a picture of Dulles right there?
Yeah, because I just pulled up
Oh,
Dulles,
okay. Alan
right?
Dulles. All right, yeah. That's a fucking shiesty motherfucker right there, boy.
Okay, now this is gonna sound really nuts, right? Not
He's
that
one A Tartarian.
now, so Joseph Smith discovers these gold temples in upstate New York, right? Now, you remember earlier how I was saying the Phoenicians, who were actually Irish, repopulated the earth after the flood.
Now,
right?
are they the ones who created the blinds?
Yes.
Are
They did that. They did that to cover the porthole windows while they were out to sea because they didn't like how early the sun would come up over the flat Earth horizon, and then it would wake them up earlier than they wanted to. They were late sleepers. Phoenician actually translates to it's the first word is late and the second word is sleep, but it's because it's an old language, so it's backwards. So it's actually sleep late. That's what Phoenician translates to.
Okay.
So the
It
Phoenicians,
sounded good, dude. If we
So-
didn't have
so-
Google, we'd all believe that shit right now, yo. Braden says over the flat Earth horizon.
So the Phoenicians, who were actually the Irish, right, of old, which were actually the Tartarians that survived the flood, right?
The
They
Irish.
started repopulate. They sailed around the world and repopulated the earth. Now,
So we're all Irish.
no. I'm sorry. They didn't repopulate the earth. What they went and they found groups of people who survived the cataclysm also, right? And they taught them the math, the sciences, the history, the spiritual stuff of old, right? These old traditions, and that's what turned into the religions that we have of today, right? So, so Joseph Smith finds these tablets or whoever, in upstate New York, right? Now here, I'm going to go back over to this, right? In this Cumorah, New York, right? So I'm also doing some research about the CIA, and I look up this guy, Alan Dulles, right?
Oof.
So I find out that
That's
he's
fucking
from
shyster.
Watertown, New York, which is in Henderson County, right? New York, which when you look has a lot of, interesting architecture around the city, right? And it's not too far. You go Watertown, New York, and then you take it over to Cumorah, New York, right? Now, that's walking. So it's a 2-hour drive, right? So it's not terribly far.
And somehow you're connecting that he only lives 2 hours away. Very convenient.
Hold on, dude. Hold on. Before you start making fun of me, dude.
I'm not making fun of you.
Hold the
I'm not
fuck
making fun of you.
on, bro.
I'm not making
Because
fun of you. You sound like
the
you know what you're
Dulles,
talking
the
about.
Dulles brothers are from this town, right? You know who
Yeah.
else is from this town? Mark fucking Hopkins, dude. The railroad guy.
Ah. So maybe he built the railroads to get there quicker.
Bro, and how about this, dude? Daniel Burnham, the architect of several famous buildings, including the Flatiron, which is a Tartarian-looking building, Union fucking Station in DC, also a Tartarian-looking building, and the Continental Trust Building in Baltimore. Bro, I'm telling you, dude,
But
this
now could it also be-
this Burnham guy, right? The Dulles brothers, Mark fucking Hopkins, right? And dude, this guy, this Burnham guy, I guarantee you, he's an architect. Oh, what did he do? A successful Chicago's architect that was selected as the director of works for the 1892 and 1893 Columbian Exposition, also known as the World's Fair in fucking Chicago. Dude, suck my fucking cock sideways.
Fake.
All I'm saying, dude, is the
Is what?
person who built the railroad, the guy
Yes.
who started the CIA, the
Yes.
dude who built the trains and took them from New York out west, were all from the same fucking town, dog. And do you know what else happened up in this town? Dude, do you know what else happened up in this town, bro? Something that
Tell us, man. Tell us. We're all waiting to hear, man. Tell us. Come on, Brian.
all around the same time, dude. The anti-Masonic party happened because the disappearance of this guy, William Morgan, who we also talked about, right?
Who looks
All
like he could have been
from the same part of New York.
who
All
looks
from
like
that upstate region.
who looks like he could have been an alien. Look at his head.
Mhm.
Mark, somehow this all comes together. I think the both of you actually do agree. Hold on, you got to go up a couple, man. First, Diana said, "Well, that escalated quickly." I had to. Stormy's with us. Why sideways? Stormy ass.
It feels better. For you, not for me, for you.
Not that. Astoria, Queens. Woo! Speaking of Astoria, Queens, could we leave your Tartarians for a second?
I don't know, dude.
No, you want to stay on your Tartarians? Because she brought up Astoria, Queens, and something interesting came out of Astoria, Queens, man. There was an article about that kid who got busted with a gun.
Yeah.
And it led to like a big child sex Satan ring.
Yeah.
Homeboy got busted in Astoria, in my hometown. And it wound up these dudes had like some crazy satanic thing going on. Good lead in. Thank you. But we can stay on Tartaria. You know, if you want to talk about Tartaria, we can stay on Tartaria. It always looks like I had a big ass space between my teeth. I don't.
But dog, I'm just, bro, it's like, honestly, bro, the thing that is the weirdest connection for me is that Dulles and Mark Hopkins, the railroad dudes, are from the same town, and the fact that those buildings survived the earthquake and they're still here, and then that the architecture looks like the same, dog. It looks the same.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's something to that, man. Al Andrew.
AI Andrew. Or is it Al Andrew?
AI Andrew, first time commenter. Thank you, man, for being on ASL. What is ASL? I feel like you know, Brian.
Age, sex, location.
Is that really what it is? I think you're lying to me.
That's what it means.
Oh. What? I don't know what's going on here.
He's just asking. He's asking about us.
Oh.
So 32 male, San Francisco.
Oh.
67 male, Atlantic City.
You're a dick, yo. Yeah, man. All right, look. I will say the Tartarians sound like interesting people who might or might not have been aliens, Mark. Don't dismiss him so quickly. I mean, he did lead us to the orphan trains. If not,
bro, and then showed you orphans in the parade at the fair.
Yeah, that's true. We did find out some interesting things just now, man. Diana says it's not that kind of podcast. Yeah, right. This shit sound like it was turning into some sort of thing. If
anybody wants to get started, check out this link. Tartaria and the Irish Connection.
Everybody's Irish, I guess, man. Diana says XXXX playground. Speaking of which, if you guys are looking for something to do on it's about to look, winter's coming. It's about to get cold, right? Well, it's cuffing season, right? And if you're out there cuffing, no better way to cuff than with your own Triple X Playground board game, man. What is Triple X Playground? Well, it's not just one of the sponsors of the show and the only sponsor of the show. It's also one of the best adult communication tool board games ever made, man. Grab one tonight, roll the dice, and get fist deep into someone you love. Big up, Spank Dog.
And if you want to support the podcast by getting some really cool mugs like this, you can go to briantilicata.com/shop.
And
We
get
can get
yourself that rated G drip.
The
get
traveling
some
runner says, weren't the Tartarians from Game of Thrones? Actually,
I think
it
they
is-
were.
it is really interesting that you brought that up.
Right? Wasn't that the steel? Wasn't
Now-
it Tartarian steel? That's what I thought.
That was Valerian.
thought that-
Valerian.
Oh,
Valerian.
Valerian
But the
steel.
interesting
That's
part that
crazy,
you
'cause I thought
mentioned
that
that is
yesterday.
because art imitates life, not the other way around, friends. So maybe, just maybe, they're trying to tell us something in the Game of Thrones.
Maybe. I honestly
Fake,
believe
fake, fake.
I believe if my ex-wife was in Game of Thrones, she would have had that throne in a fortnight. She would have took out what's her face, that other chick. You know,
I don't even know her, but I agree. I feel like you're right. I have never met her, but I feel like that's probably true.
she
'Cause
would.
if she married you, bro, she's not taking any shit off of nobody. I see pride. I see power. I see a badass mother who won't take no lip off of nobody.
Dude.
Cool runnings.
Yeah, man. And Samuel would have been the little prince that was angry and shooting fucking bows at people all the time.
Dude. Yeah, and Jasmine, would she have been Arya? Arya Stark, which you look at the
Yes.
root of that word is Arya.
Aryan. Man, you're just exposing everybody today, Brian.
I'm telling you, dude,
exposing
the
everybody.
Tartarian connects all of the dots, bro. It really does. It's like the catch-all conspiracy theory. It really is.
AI Andrew said 25 male wherever you want me to be.
Who are you interested in? Are you interested in Gary? Or
Listen, AI, I'm sorry to tell you, but Brian's taken.
Mm-hmm.
He's already got a husband. He's happily taken care of. You know. Yo, but what are you looking at, Brian? Brian.
What?
What are you looking at?
I'm trying to look up the Globus Cruciger.
What the fuck is that?
Dude, the globe. The globe and the cross.
Oh,
See, there's imagery from like pretty much every culture that has these fucking things. You know, look at
I
that.
think it's safe to say there's something to it.
Bro. Yeah.
Astrology, Earth. There's something to it, obviously, man. Otherwise, it wouldn't be everywhere. You know,
And why are they putting it on their fucking crowns? You know, they eventually put it on their crowns. You got these babies, you got dudes holding it all over the place.
what is the fucking thing with babies, man? Yeah, look at that, man.
And that's like a
Man.
Poseidon type guy.
Dude, how do they fucking? That's amazing work, yo. That's amazing fucking work. And you tell me they had no power tools. They didn't have one of those things that
Dude,
go,
the dumbest,
and
the
they just-
dumbest thing, bro. The dumbest thing is that we believe that Rome was 2,000 years ago, right? And then when we went from Rome to the year 1000, and from the year 1000 to 1500, they were in the Dark Ages. Like there's just 500 years for unaccounted history. You remember learning about that in school, right? The Dark Ages, the
I don't
Middle
remember
Ages.
learning much in school. I
But
know
do you
I must have
remember?
learned
Do you
something.
remember the Dark Ages? You never heard of the Dark Ages, the Middle Ages?
I've heard of the Dark Ages.
Right. And
Never
the
really
Dark
understood what
Ages,
it
what that
was,
referred
to be
to
honest.
was the period of time of history where they didn't really have a lot of like good thought. They thought that we were just, there wasn't a lot of stuff written. There wasn't a lot of books. There wasn't a lot of like anything from that like time period. So they call that the Dark Ages. And that's allegedly when like, the kings and queens were roaming around England. But like, I don't know, dude. Not buying it.
Mm.
And it's hard, bro. 'Cause honestly, I don't buy anything anymore. It's been a
No,
lot.
I
Dude.
mean,
This Tartarian thing,
that's
it's taking its toll, bro. It's really taking
oh,
its toll.
we could see. Of all the rabbit holes to go down too, man,
I know,
you
dude.
decided to make a left at Tartaria. That's
I
cool.
took a wrong turn at Albuquerque, and this is where we've been ever since.
That's hysterical, man. What was it that I was about to talk about, man? Oh, can we switch gears? Can we take you away from Tartaria for a little while? Come back.
I
come
don't
back.
know, dude. Not yet, because I just found a commemorative coin from Tartaria, right? And look what these motherfuckers put on it, dude. They're fucking owl god, bro. They're a little fucking owl god, Ewok or Enoch or whatever
Now,
the
wait
fuck
a
it's
minute,
called, bro.
That's a coin that they just made for Tartaria, right? That's like that's not like a Tartarian coin.
This is a commemorative coin from the World's Fair. It's a $50 coin, which who had $50 in 1915? Just the guys who had the silver fucking mines,
Dude, you know how many courses they could get in a meal for $50?
Whatever 9 times 450 courses. Bro.
Wow. You're good. I was just testing his math.
So this is the city of San Francisco.
Well, obviously, then listen, they obviously thought something about Tartaria, right?
Who?
Fucking the World's Fair, right? They're making coins about Tartaria, right? That's what you just showed us.
No, this is just an American coin that they made. It's a commemorative coin for the fair. Yeah, it's just they made it for the fair. You see how it says the Panama Pacific Exposition? That's the World's Fair. But
and what is that? A $50 coin? You said?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, right? Why would they make? Dude, holy shit, bro! You want to see how much these things are fucking worth, dude? $200,000, bro.
Ooh, let's find one of those motherfuckers, dog.
Find one, dude? What do you mean find one, bro?
Find a person who has one. Hopefully, he lives in San Francisco, and then, like the traveling runner says, we go rob it. Okay.
Huh. What? I just don't get what's up with the fucking thing.
What thing?
I
want to dip my balls in it. In what, I don't know, but I'm guessing that has something to do with Brian. There'll be no ball dipping in my dude. It's not gonna be no ball dipping in my direction, man. Oh man, yo.
Oh,
fucking
dude,
hysterical.
Another interesting point that we can talk about is the Golden Gate, right? Which is known as the Golden Gate Bridge, but it's the area that you enter the San Francisco Bay at, right?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, where is it? Yeah, here it is. On July 1st, 1846, before the discovery of gold in California, the entrance acquired a new name, right? It used to be called, until 1840, the strait was called the Boca del Puerto de San Francisco. So it's the mouth of the port of San Francisco is the translation. But on July 1st, 1846...
Man, San Francisco's always been
Listen,
gay,
dude.
right?
Yeah. Before the discovery of gold in California, the entrance acquired a new name. In his memoirs, the Jonathan C. Fremont wrote, "To this gate, I give the name of Chrysopilae, which is a Latin word, or Golden Gate, for the same reasons that the harbor of Byzantine was called Chrysocharis, or the Golden Horn. He went on to comment that the strait was a golden gate to trade with the Orient.
Okay. Well, what is it? What is it that I'm missing here?
Bro, he's calling it the Golden Gate when they knew there was gold there already.
Oh.
You know, proving that there were people here before, you know.
I didn't catch that.
I know you didn't. That's because you're slow and not that smart.
That's because I'm man. Yeah. And you know, I have a very short attention span. I didn't take my Adderall today because I get mine illegally, and fucking these motherfuckers that get it prescribed to them, all of a sudden they're taking it now.
Oh, dude, these guys are such fucking cocksuckers, man.
I'm very tired. Which guys? Which cocksuckers are we talking about?
I don't know. All of them?
Which ones? Yeah, they're all pretty much cocksuckers, you know. And when they're not trying to fucking get this shit sucked by us, they got, you know, they throw fairs. I honestly think that fair thing was a place where they can get away from the family for like a week or however long that shit went on, and they could just become freaks. They were doing baby parades, you know. They had fucking little girls dancing on fucking whatchamacallits, altars and shit like that. You know, I think it was a place, you know. The fair was a place where some crazy affairs went on.
I think you're probably right about that.
You know, that's what I think. You know, I thank you for that visit to Tartaria. I'll never hear that word again and not have thoughts. What those thoughts will be, I'm not too sure. But like I said, I'm not upset you took me down this road because we found the fucking orphan train.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we wouldn't have found the orphan train if not looking for Tartaria. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy shit is that
oh, dude.
What did you
find? Man, I'm down the rabbit hole again, bro.
Yeah. This is how it happens, people, just so you know.
So
AI Andrew just wants to make it clear that he's not a cocksucker. He loves the pussy.
Well, thank you for sharing. Okay, so
hey, you comment, we'll show it. Go ahead.
So to celebrate the opening of the Panama Canal and to commemorate the 400th anniversary of the discovery of the Pacific Ocean, which would have meant that the Pacific Ocean was discovered in 1515 by the Spanish, I guess.
Nobody ever walked to like the edge of the beach. How can you claim discovering a thing that goes around there? Like, how can you claim you discovered it first to the other people that are on the other side of it that probably saw it too? I don't know if that makes sense.
So anyway, so there were World's Fairs, right? And now these are the coins that they put, they built, right? So this is one of them that has a winged Mercury opening canal locks, right? That's what this is. Alabama, you know, all these other, but like, look at this shit, dude. So this is actually, this is interesting. This was another Tartarian thing that I've discovered. Old World Florida is a great YouTube channel. This is the seal of Florida, right? Now in this seal for the state of Florida, you see mountains, right? Which we actually believe are Indian mounds or pyramids that were built by the civilization that was here before, right?
From the top down.
From the top down. And now these are not on there anymore. They're not on there anymore. But dude, look at all these fucking buildings, dog.
Look at the detail, man. I'll tell you this, man, the master fucking craftsman. You know?
Bro, yeah, look in the coin, dude. Within the beaded circle, winged Victory stands on the prow of a vessel holding Laurel with her. Exposition building, ship, sun rays. I mean, like, dude, it looks all Greek, bro, right? Like,
they don't do the World's Fair anymore, right? That's not a thing anymore, is it?
No, dude.
Why did it stop?
No.
Why did it stop? Did one of the husbands get busted and then rat out all the other husbands, and now the wives don't let them out anymore?
In 1998, Congress dissolved the United States Information Agency, which was responsible
1998.
For American participation in such events. Combine that with the financial losses suffered by host cities, it's little wonder that no one stateside has been eager to mount a World's Fair.
Especially now they can get little dinghies at the pizza shop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't need the state's fair to do that shit no more.
Dude, look,
now they could just, order them online.
The 1984 World's Fair in New Orleans led to $100 million in debt. I guess I'm saying, dude, these things didn't make money,
No, dude, I could be wrong. And what I'm saying is not a fact in any way, shape, or form. And YouTube does not agree with any of my thoughts, just so you know. Brian might not either. But I think that was a place where, they were just going in there, a bunch of fucking underage adults.
Well, I don't know if you've heard about The Devil in the White City, which is honestly one of the best books that I've ever read. Right?
What's that? The White Devil in the City?
The Devil in the White City: Murder, Magic, and Madness at the fair that changed
the White
America.
Devil in the City. Am I reading that wrong?
The Devil in the White City. No, The Devil in the White City.
The White Devil in the City. I keep reading. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. My eyesight's going. It's the first thing to go. Are you exhausted?
I'm tired. Yeah, I'm tired now, dude. Yeah, let's get into whatever topics.
It
was good
today. Yeah, how was the weather? Was the weather good in Tartaria?
It was nice.
It was nice. How was the food?
Tasty.
What is Tartarian food?
Well, they don't actually eat because they don't.
Oh, they don't need to eat because they're tapped into that ether.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. We all need to do that shit. Save some money on groceries. I told you the other day I bought a quart of milk and a fucking a roll of paper towel. Quart of milk roll, $7.49. I thought I was gonna come home and throw the paper towel on the floor and it was gonna wipe itself up.
Would relieve themselves in the hallways or stairways. You know what they tell us in mainstream history?
Wait, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
Why were there so many issues with waste management? Why were there no bathrooms in this marvelous place? You know what they tell us in mainstream history?
Right there. Stop that right there. What the fuck? Are they shooting cannons into their ass, or are they shooting fucking ball out of their ass at the cannons? What direction is the balls flying?
I think it's going that way.
What?
You got to tap into that ether, dog. Give you your shit. You won't need to buy groceries.
Exactly, man.
They were just dirty. These aristocrats would relieve themselves in the hallways or stairwells. I'm reading this article and it's saying that no one bothered to house train the royal dogs and servants wouldn't even consider cleaning it up. Does that sound right to you? Because for one moment, let's just forget about whether this...
So we're talking about the Treaty of Versailles here, dude. And there's no bathrooms in the Treaty of Versailles, in the Palace of Versailles. There wasn't originally any bathrooms built. So...
And these motherfuckers were just shitting anywhere. Shitting...
Dog,
you go to walk down the hallway and you see some rich motherfucker. Did they have flaps on their fucking pants back then, or did they have to pull those?
But it's like, bro, you're telling me
that they were just shitting all over that place.
Yeah, dude. What?
They were just shitting all over that place, dude. Just peeing on the walls and the floors.
They didn't house train. They didn't house train. Dude, they have a hall of fucking mirrors, bro. Like what were the black tiles the ones you shit on, and the white ones with the
that's also the satanic shit there, man. Those black and white tiles, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we spoke about this before, man. The black and white tiles is a very satanic symbol. You didn't know that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, so you only like to talk. You don't like to listen when other people talk to you.
I listen. I've
told you that a bunch of times, man. But you know what? You've been flooding your head in Tartaria, so I understand why some stuff is getting pushed out. You know, Raymond has a comment, baby. Still trying to understand where Brian is trying to connect Tartaria to today's world. Brian.
Well, my recommendation would be for you to first watch the Mind Unveiled video that I showed.
You got the link? Why don't you share that link?
Yeah, I was trying to do it. So like here's the thing is like I'm not actually saying that, you know, I don't know what it is. I don't know where it is, but I know that there's a lot of buildings that are around that don't make any sense, and the government fucking lies. How's that? That's what I got.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Raymond says to elaborate on the tiles. All right, hold on 1 second. What is the satanic symbolism to black and white tiles? What does black and white mean to the Illuminati? The black and white represents duality, like the yin and yang. They believe that in order to find balance, both light and darkness are needed. Yeah, I know the black and white color, but there's a thing with the pavement, black and white checkered floor. Yeah, it's a Masonic thing. It's saying the checkered floor, the black and white checkered floor, and it's because the black and white symbolism or whatever shit like that. You know, I'm not gonna dive down that rabbit hole any further than that. But yeah, man, it's out there. Yeah, it's a Masonic symbol, and like I said, it's like it says it creates balance or whatever like that, or some shit like that. But if you notice, like in all those videos and stuff, especially in hip hop now, they all got the black and white tiles. They all got like all the symbolism and all that crazy shit and all this shit. You know. So how you feeling over there, man? How you feeling? I noticed that you're still there. You can't climb out.
Yeah, dude, it's just like, bro, all these dome buildings, bro. Like I'm looking at St. Peter's Basilica at the Vatican right now. And I mean, you know, they got the cross, the ball, they got this dome, separate domes, a bunch of fucking kids at the top.
Of course.
And then shit that's written, I mean, almost in English, bro. In honor and principles opposed to palace by rights for the Romans. Some fucking date, you know.
Man, look at that architecture though, man. They don't make shit like that anymore.
Dude, okay, so you see these little tops here? These little things? Let me just...
You can't make shit like that with a union.
No.
It would just take forever, man. You know, the details just in the stairs.
Yeah.
You know, it would just take forever. You know. Can't do that with unions. You can only do that kind of architecture with like fucking slave labor. It's the only way you can get something that hot. You know what I'm saying? And they want to do their best job because you know what happens if you fuck up. You know what I'm saying? You break a marble fucking countertop back then, you're gonna lose a lot more than your job. You know?
Yeah.
People had to do it right. The first time too, because you know, apparently they didn't have fucking electric tools. You know? I don't know what to tell you. What was it I was just about to bring up, man? Something that just I wanted to talk about that dude that they just let go from prison, dude. Well, not from prison, from the psych ward. You know, you want to talk fucking conspiracies, you know, one of the big conspiracies that is going on now, other than like these 1800 conspiracy shits that we're still trying to figure out what the fuck he took us down that hole for. But you know, they're saying now that they're trying to let violent offenders back into the street to create this type of, you know, chaos. You got Soros that paid like to get all these fucking DAs put into place so that they could let violent offenders go. There was a dude who was sentenced to 60 years in a mental institution for eating some dude's brain and eyes. Am I correct? Yep. Or was it the heart? It was the eyes, right? Some old crazy. Yeah, this dude right here.
Now, I gotta say, it's kind of funny. He's a big boy.
Why is it funny he's a big boy?
Because he was eating somebody, dog. Like you think it'd be funnier if he was thin like me, or does it make more sense that he's a big dude?
Well, I think it makes more sense he's a big dude, right? You know, he looks like he gets hungry a lot. He looks like such a well-adjusted person.
After a decade of treatment in an asylum, the man who killed and ate an unhoused individual, which is a homeless person for
unhoused.
For those normal people, for those who are not dumb, a man who became known
even did that in an article in unhoused. What are they afraid of? They're gonna get taken off of YouTube.
Yeah, they're afraid a homeless person's gonna read it and be offended. 10 years ago, Tyree Smith became known as a modern-day cannibal after he was arrested for killing and eating an unhoused individual. Police found a mutilated body that was hacked to death, and an autopsy revealed that Smith had actually eaten parts of his brain and eyeballs. Smith was originally guilty for 60 years, being hailed by not guilty by way of insanity during the trial. See, and honestly, I don't think that's something that should exist, dude. You should be guilty by reason of insanity. Like, you did it because you were crazy. You're not innocent because you're crazy. You're guilty because you're crazy, and we can give you a different sentence.
Yes. You know, take the death penalty off or something like that.
Put him in an asylum, dude.
My thing with that whole thing, though, is he was sentenced to 60 years. First of all, I guess 60 years, they thought he'd be gone by then if they couldn't fix him. But now they're claiming they fixed him. They're claiming they fixed him and that he hasn't shown any signs of wanting to eat people's brains and eyes.
Can I read the article? Let me read the article.
Please read the article.
Because the article is nuts, dude.
Yeah, the article is so great. And this
Tyrese,
is in the Mirror? This is in the Mirror?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, look at all these fucking pop-up ads.
Oh,
you can tell a newspaper's not doing well if they got this many ads on their shit.
They only let you read half the article, and then they're like, yo, they're doing it like drug dealers. They give you half the article, and they're like, you want to read the rest, you got to fucking subscribe.
Tyree Smith will be allowed to live in a Waterbury group home. His conditions for release is he is not allowed to associate with anyone involved in criminal activity. Dude, this thing is so fucking annoying, bro. It's fucking horrible. The board stated that in its report, Tyree Smith is an individual with a psychiatric illness requiring care, custody, and treatment. Since his last hearing, Tyree Smith has continued to demonstrate clinical stability. Mr. Smith is medication compliant, actively engaged in all recommended forms of treatment, and has been symptom-free for many years. Before going to the maximum security asylum he was assigned to, Smith apologized for killing Angel Gonzalez. He said, "I'm really sorry for what I did, that I couldn't be myself," Smith told the judges. It really had nothing to do with the other person. During his time at the facility, it was reported that Smith tried to take his own life by slitting his wrist back in 2012. Since then, doctors say the treatment has went smoothly enough to allow his release. The report on Smith's release said he denied experiencing cravings, but stated that if they were to arise, he would reach out to his hospital and community supports and providers. Now, I just want to say, as a former heroin addict who used to have cravings to use drugs, right? Drugs. I never once called anybody when those cravings arised. What I did was I got in the car or I got on the bus and I went to fucking Camden, got my shit, and bounced.
Well, you told somebody. You told your dealer, listen, dog, I'm craving right now. Yeah,
no, bro. See, that's the thing. I never called anybody for heroin. Not once. I would just show up, bro.
Yourself.
No, dude, you show up to the block. It's open air, bro.
No, you show up to the block, you walk up to the dealer, and you're like, yo, dude, you got anything? I'm fucking craving.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like you didn't tell anybody. You reached out. You reached out to a heroin dealer. King Handles asked, did we get to the satanic cultish yet? Nah, we didn't get to that yet. We started to touch it, but we'll go back. He needs to be in a mental hospital. Well, they put him in a mental hospital for 60 years. He was sentenced for 60 years to a mental hospital. Why they even put an end at 60 years? I don't get it. The dude ate someone's brain and eyeballs. And now they deem, because here's the thing, he's been in there for 10 years, right? In 2000, what they say, 2012?
Mm-hmm.
he tried to kill himself. And then they said that for the last few years, he hasn't shown no signs. He's on his medication, and we all know that crazy people tend to stay on the medication, especially when they're left to do it on their, they tend to just keep taking the medication, right? And then he said, but listen, if I start thinking about eating people again, I'll let you know. Is this the way? First of all, even if he's better, right? Shouldn't he at least do the 60 years? You know what I'm saying? Like the dude only did 10 years for eating somebody. Nobody thinks that's insane. Well, Connecticut is now a safer place. If you're looking for somewhere really safe to move, go to Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got some fucking loony people in your family that have fucking that have very violent tendencies. Go to Connecticut. They're very fucking cool with that shit. Get the fuck out of here, man. King Handel says, nah, man, he needs to be in there permanently next to Hannibal. I agree. Like, look, you didn't want to put him in jail, so you put him in a mental institution. You said 60 years, but just when you get put into a mental institution, I think that should just be like, all right, that's where you're at. You're in a mental institution, yo.
You don't get out.
That's it, man. Not for eating somebody. That's too close for comfort. Waterbury is like an hour away. Yeah, Ray. And I bet you had no idea. I bet that's not even big news in that area that can be affected. You know, but don't worry, he's not going to hang out with other criminals. We know he's not going to hang out with a lot of other cannibals. I mean, what's the chances? Even though now with the internet, he can find a fucking cannibal kind of society.
He just goes on Uber Eats.
Goes on Uber Eats. Eats the driver. Yo, he asked for certain nationalities to deliver the food, depending on what kind of food he's in the mood for. Could you please send over Tony? I'm gonna move for some Italian tonight. Maybe tomorrow I'll have some Jose for lunch.
Yeah. Followed up with a little ping for dinner.
a little ping. I'm sorry, cannibalism is funny. Raymond says not at all. Yeah, they didn't. They ain't talking.
Do you
about that
think
shit,
cannibals prefer the source of their people? Do you think cannibals have like a preference? Be like, dude, I'm not eating fucking vegans, or they want to eat like CrossFit only, like that, like lean beef kind of thing.
You know what you want to say.
They want that fatty fat.
You know, they don't eat
that vegan.
They don't eat Mexican food. They're like, Mexicans taste too spicy. And then
Well,
I always have to
some.
shit.
The
I always
white-
have
the
to
white-
shit right after.
Yeah, the white cannibals aren't going to eat that.
There needs to be a cannibalism offender registration, like for the SEGS offender. We shouldn't need a cannibalism registration. You should already be registered in fucking prison where you stay. I mean, listen, if eating another human being, other than for survival needs, like if you guys are stranded somewhere, the weaker one got to get eaten. I'm sorry. But, you know, and the truth is, even in that situation, you should have to start at like the appendages. You shouldn't go right for the kill. You know, you should start like on one arm, because a person could still stay alive, as you know. And the truth is, the both you could kind of eat that hand together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's a good way to do it. Like if you're ever stranded on an island with someone and you got to decide who eats who. I mean, if you're already together, you know, you don't know if you're ever going to get off, you know, you should bide your time by each person kind of just sharing the appendages of the other. You know, and you would take turns. This way, every night, the same person ain't going through the same amount of pain. You know what I'm saying? Like you take off like a couple of fingers the first night, cook those over a nice fire. And then the next night, you know, you take the fingers of the other dude.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you don't want sausages again. You go for the toes and you do some meatballs. You know, fatty meat doesn't taste good. Lean meat is better. I would think so, man. Yo, when we were watching that wilderness shit, this dude made a cow, right? He didn't make a cow. He fucking killed a cow from his just right out there. Killed the cow, right? For his family to eat for dinner. And then like they chopped up. Where you going? Why'd you leave me? Brian, did we lose Brian? Where'd you go?
I don't know.
All right, you're back. Anyway.
Cow for his family to eat for dinner.
Yeah, and like they killed the cow, started, and he had like a bunch of people there, chopping it up, and they just put it in plastic bags.
Mm-hmm.
They still got plastic bags out there, and they just threw the meat into plastic bags and gave it to like everybody in their town because it's a fucking cow, right? And when they were making this cow, what were we just talking about? I just fucking it was one of those cows that have the hump.
A camel?
Out there, no. You know the cows with that little hump. It wasn't like, it has like a little hump on its back.
It wasn't like a
it wasn't like the regular cows out here. I mean, this dude's, I don't even know where he is, Libya, some crazy shit. So he's living good though, man. And everything he made was like, yeah, there you go, the one with the hump. There you go, dude.
Dude, what's the name of the channel?
I think it's called Wilderness Cooking, dude. The dude cut the hump. And it was just all fat. It was just all white fat. And then he just cut it up, chopped all that fat into pieces, and then threw that shit in with the meat, like fucking chopped meat. I ain't gonna lie, when it was all said and done, it looked delicious. But oh man, when he was cutting through that hump, I almost threw up on Mark's couch, dude. I was just like, that shit is gross, man. And it was so thick.
Huh.
It was just so thick.
He's in Azerbaijan.
Yeah, that's where he is. Azerbaijan, wherever the fuck that is. Where is that?
It's actually really close to Tartaria. It's right next to it, dude.
King Anders says an ox. Would that be considered an ox?
An axe. Here is Azerbaijan.
Where's that near?
Iran, Armenia.
Oh, Armenia.
Georgia, Uzbekistan, the Ukraine, Russia.
All right. Well, shout out to them.
Yeah, it looks like a really nice place.
Dude, this dude. Look at that ugly ass fucking shaped building. There you go. I like
this looks
shit.
like some fucking satanic shit.
It's like a modern version of that Tartarian building. Look at it, 3 of them. See? Look at that.
Here we are.
Look at those penises, man. They got bell heads.
A little bit of the
those are circumcised. They got 2 kinds of those shits. They had the ones that come to a point. Those are the uncircumcised ones, and that one was circumcised.
So does this dude just feed everybody?
Yeah, dude. He just feeds just the kids, though. And it's usually, it's just the kids. And I can't lie. Once again, I was like, why is this dude just feeding the kids? I hope they're his kids. I think he has 7 boys. I think. But then those same boys took bags of meat home with them for the, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. They look very inbreedy. Everybody looks the same. Because I thought they were all his kids, but then when they left the dinner table,
he says, my name is Tavakul. I am 50 years old. My family and I are Lezgians, the indigenous people of the Caucasus, and we live in the vibrant Azerbaijan in a high mountain village.
It's a beautiful place.
Al-Ravan. I'm infinitely in love with nature of my motherland. Most of my activities were given to me by nature. I speak its language and it obeyed me. It allowed me to appreciate and explore it. Once walking in the mountains, I realized how happy I am just to watch the sun rise over the shining hills, and I wanted to share it. That's cool.
He said, oh, they had to be. I know a chick named
Azerbaijan. That's the name of that country.
Oh, yeah. Azerbaijan.
Mm-hmm.
Azerbaijan. I don't even want to go down the name. Yeah, the dude looks happy, dude. Every time he's cooking one of these big ass animals, he just sits there and makes a cup of tea And even the way he makes the tea is like he's got some crazy shit. Nothing is normal. The dude's very fancy, you know. But yeah, dude, he was giving all these kids meat and shit like that, man. But when they cut the hump of that thing,
the hump.
Oh, it was so gross. So gross, man. I'd rather not see food before I eat it. Like, I don't even really like make good chicken cutlets, but I don't like making chicken cutlets.
I know, dude. I'm with you. It's gross, bro. It's gross. Yeah, it's all
It's touching
slimy.
flesh. And then when I see a person, you know, just taking animals, right? Like this dude had a goat that he called and it came over, and while he was making everything he makes is fresh. Everything. Like everything. Any kind of thing he gets, he just goes outside, pulls
All
up
of
baby
it?
carrots out of the
Is
earth.
it everything?
Everything.
Everything he does? Like all of it?
Are you fucking with me?
No, dude. I would never fuck with you. dude. I'm
just
trying to figure
saying,
out: is it
so the
all of
dude-
the stuff that he does? He make from scratch, or is it just some things?
Oh no. He makes cheese from scratch.
What about
He
bread?
makes the butter for bread. He makes
Milk?
the bread. You see him making the shit.
Eggs?
The
Does he
bread.
make eggs? Does he make eggs from scratch?
He has the chickens all over laying eggs. In fact, he made pickled eggs the other day. Motherfucker, let's go there. This motherfucker made pickled egg jars. He made like 50 jars of pickled eggs. You guys would love the Wuhan market. Fresh food served daily. Listen, man, I like my Masato meals. I got no problem with Masato meals. I'm probably saying the word wrong.
Monsanto.
Monsanto wheels.
Yeah.
Monsanto meals. That's what the commercial's going to be. It's going to be during this lockdown. Make sure you eat right with Monsanto meals. We bring it straight to your door. Leave it in the front for touchless delivery. What the fuck is touchless delivery? What are you carrying with your neck? Have you learned to fucking somehow tap into your Tartarian strength and just let the fucking shit float? Touchless delivery. Like I said, everything's always the opposite. If they call it touchless delivery, that means they touched the fuck out of it. They juggled that shit.
You made me think of something that I saw a TikTok about this the other day, and I didn't know if you had seen this, but they were doing this in New York over the summer, and it was the first that I heard of it.
Oh, praying pesticides?
To reduce the threat of the West Nile virus. To minimize exposure to the pesticide, please go indoors immediately until the trucks have passed. The city is applying pesticides to reduce the threat of the West Nile virus. To minimize exposure to the pesticide, please go indoors immediately until the trucks have passed.
Yo, at least they're announcing it. In my neighborhood, dude, in Ravenswood, them trucks used to come through. Now, I don't know what's coming out of that shit, but they used to release pesticides all the time in the neighborhood. They drive the truck
DDT.
on the
Oh, DDT. Yeah.
They wouldn't even say nothing. You'd be sitting on the bench and shit. The truck would just roll right by you. Just hit you with that shit. They wouldn't even like beat their horn and tell you to get the fuck out of there. They just go right by you. You know how much of that shit I inhaled?
Yeah, my
Every summer. I lived there for 30-something years. So for 30-something years, every summer, I inhaled that shit.
yeah,
Which
my
explains a lot when you're sitting there and you're saying you can't be 50 and this dumb and this guy's fucking insane. It's a good thing he's good. Remember, I was sucking that shit in once a year for 36 fucking years. Okay. They didn't even tell you to close your windows. I lived on the first floor. They come right by the window. The shit go poof right into the house. The fuck out of here.
we can fly to Azerbaijan for $1,000 a piece round trip.
Really?
Mhm.
I would like to go out there and I'd like to meet that dude and tell him, dude, why don't you say something? He says nothing the whole time. He just does it.
Well, part of that's like ASMR videos, you know, that's like kind of part of it is where they just like play the sound. It's like a style, you know, where you're just hearing all the sounds of what the guy is doing. You know?
I mean, he was just watching him do it. I guess, yeah, there was sound there. It wasn't a silent movie.
Right.
You know, which I think I would have preferred to see him doing something. And then the thing comes up and says, there were certain things he did that I was like, why is he doing? Even Mark, who's the cook out of us. He was like, why is he doing that?
Hmm.
You know, it would have been nice to know. Even when he's throwing the ingredients in there, it's like you don't know what the fuck is in that ingredients.
Right.
But he did answer every question that we did have without speaking to us. Like at one point, Mark was like, I wonder if he got cows, and boom, he was chopping a cow, you know. And then I had a question, how does he keep the replenishment for all those fucking kids?
Mhm.
And then boom, they showed in between meals, he's throwing seeds out there. You know what I'm saying? That's Putin's backyard. Besafetho? How do I pronounce these words?
I think that's the name of a place. Oh, be safe though.
Oh. That's great. I'm sitting here looking at it going, that's Putin's backyard. Besafetho?
I'm like Bessa though. What is that? What is that? Portuguese?
No,
I thought it was like
That's like-
Baphomet or something.
that's like one time my mother said, I'm gonna go. One time I tell my mother, yeah, I'm gonna come by and see you taking a lunch tomorrow. She goes, oh, where you want to go? I go, I don't know, anywhere you want to go. She goes, oh, you want to go to Panada? And I said, okay. And she goes, you know where that is, right? And I go, no. Gary, you don't know where Panada is? And I said, no, but when I get there, you could tell me where. How don't you know where Panada is? I said, Ma, I don't know the place. When I get there, you'll tell me where it is and we'll check it out. She goes, Gary, it's right over there by Michael's. And I go, do you mean Panera? And she goes, yeah, the bread place. I said, oh, Panera Bread. Yeah, I know where that is. Well, that's what I said, Panada. I said, Ma, I thought you was naming a Spanish restaurant. That shit didn't sound like Panera Bread. She said Panada. I was thinking empanadas and shit.
Yeah.
That's how I felt just now with that. Be safe though. Best I felt.
I worked
If
at
my
a
son saw that, my son would be dying because one time he was telling me how women could break a break a hymen doing exercises. And I questioned him and he Googled it and he says, oh, because he said lose their virginity on a thing, right? And I said, nah, your chick was lying to you, right? And he looks it up and goes, look, it says it right here. A woman can break her hymen. I said, you mean hymen? He goes, that's what I mean. It fucked me up when I read it. So he would have loved that part right there for sure. I think that DDT is still in effect. So that's your excuse why you're 50 and silly pesticides?
it's one of his excuses.
Well, it wasn't paint chips.
I think it was paint chips, dude.
Nah, my boy,
yeah,
man.
dude. I think it was paint chips.
You ever met my boy Mike?
No, dude.
He always talks about how he tells everyone he meets how he ate paint chips when he was a kid. And it shows. The more you talk to him, you're like, yeah, this dude definitely ate paint chips. And he tells everybody he meets. Love that dude. Big up to you, Mike. Haven't seen you in a minute, man. Yeah, it's not really an excuse, though. I make no excuses. I would say it's probably a reason, you know, but I make no excuses. That's like he said, you shouldn't be found not guilty because of insanity. You should be found guilty because of insanity, you know? So I mean it like that. Like, I'm not going to use that as an excuse for being a dick, but it does answer some questions, you know? That's all I'm saying. You know?
Interesting.
Not really. Yo, so could we please go to that article about the dude from Astoria that got busted with the gun? I really didn't look into it because I wanted to look into it together, all of us, in case anybody hasn't heard about this.
Tannic Colt, Queens.
Astoria.
Astoria. Oh
There
my
it is.
God, these fucking ads, dude.
It's your fault, man.
A satanic ping cult was uncovered by the feds after an arrest of a Queens man 2 years ago. Wait, what? A satanic cult
Yeah.
was uncovered by the FBI after the arrest of a Queens man 2 years ago as an
Yeah,
offshoot
they
of
arrested him. They arrested him 2 years ago, and supposedly he keeps beating up his lawyers and attacking his lawyers. So the
Really?
case hasn't been able to go through. But go ahead, let's get into this shit. Check it out.
He's arrested 2 years ago as an offshoot of a much older neo-Nazi organization that wants to destroy Western civilization, according to an overseas nonprofit that's been tracking the hate group. The feds say they stumbled upon this newer group named 764, but goes by a number of aliases. While investigating Angel Almeida, a 23-year-old convicted felon from Queens who was busted on a gun charge in November 21. The loosely organized commune of creeps appears to be intensely interested in targeting kids on the internet, then threatening, intimidating, or blackmailing them into recording acts of self-mutilation, animal abuse, sex acts, and even their own suicides, according to the feds. But the sources told The Guardian that 764 is an outgrowth of an older, larger organization known as the Order of Nine Angles, which the Institute for Strategic Dialogue called a decentralized satanic neo-Nazi organization bent to overthrow the Western governments. I guarantee you this ISD is not a good organization either, but that is neither here nor there.
Yeah.
The group
I mean,
commonly...
the dude is crazy. He was down with a Nazi cult. 'Cause doesn't he have a little kind of...
I mean, Spanish, bro. His name's Angel
Yeah.
Almeida, bro. And he's
That's
from
what I'm
Queens,
saying.
dog. I
And
mean, come on.
Yeah. So, he's a Met fan, probably. Like, what? Why are you down with neo Nazis?
He likes Nathan's hot dogs.
You know, I don't get that.
Well, I mean, dude, that's the thing, though. They'll label a lot of stuff as neo-Nazi now, you know?
All right, but go ahead, go deeper. Because my thing is, like, how are they getting kids to commit suicide?
Yeah, right. So the group commonly referred to as O9A believes that the West Judeo-Christian heritage corrupts modern society. According to the ISD, it's cool he's hitting a meth pipe in this photo. He's wasting some meth, but you know, it's okay.
How do you know that it's meth? Is it the smoke? Does the smoke give it away?
I mean, that's the only thing you usually use one of them pipes for, dude.
That's the pipe.
That's a meth pipe.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, that explains, I'm pretty sure Satan's into meth.
Yeah.
It's not frowned upon in the satanic
it's recommended. It's an interesting concoction of racism and sex. Rick Allen Ross, a cult expert, said it's a hate group. It's neo-Nazi. It's predatory. It's an interesting hybrid. It formed in the early 1970s by British neo-Nazi David Mayat, whose teachings included aeonics, which is the belief that each human civilization corresponds to a certain time period. Mayat's followers believe that the current world order will crumble, only to be replaced with a militaristic Nazi revival called the Imperium, the ISD said. After the Imperium, they believe another eon will eventually lead to the Aryan race colonizing outer space. But standing in their way are the pillars of Western society, namely Judeo-Christian values, racial equality, and human rights.
All right, pause for a second because there's something interesting going on in the comments section. King Handler says, Gloria from Astoria. Who's that? I went to war with her peeps in 91. Who's that? And then the traveling runner says, was that when they stole a gun from your worker? Oh, man, there's some shit going on right now that I feel like I should know what's going on right now. And the King Handle says, ha, yeah, crime doesn't pay. Gloria from Astoria. Let's start with that. Is that some shit connected to the story?
The only thing I find when I type, Gloria from Astoria, it's a Biggie song.
Oh.
So I thought it was lyrics or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. For a second, I was like, wait a minute. That I thought it was like a nickname or some shit like that, man. Yo, that's fucking insane. And what's insane is that, like, in that dude's house, look up the shit they found in his house, dude. They found like the crazy.
Hold on. Let me get to that. So by standing in their way of they found these drawings, right? Which says a covenant signed in blood, may the devil walk with you always. What does that say? I can't tell what it let me zoom in on it.
Yeah, this could have problems.
It doesn't look like the same kid right here, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bro, this kid's black. This kid's Spanish.
Yeah, that's not the same kid.
Black, Spanish.
Well, yo, he could be Spanish, dude. You're assuming he's black.
Well, he
just
could be
because-
Dominican, bro.
just because he's black.
Yeah, I mean, he's Dominican. What is it? Dominican? He's Dominican, right? I mean, he's Dominican.
Maybe one is a summer shot, one is a winter shot.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the hoodie on.
You know,
It is a meth pipe he's smoking. Yes.
yeah, which is not frowned upon in the satanic circles.
The
We are
the O9A shares many beliefs with accelerationist groups, including the perception that Western society is decadent, anti-Semitism, the lionization of the Nazis, and a desire to bring about societal collapse. The twisted philosophy hit a lull. Their insidious
that's
online presence prevents a massive hazard. Recruiters don't even meet face to face. They pull kids off of Zoom. I mean, I don't really
I just want to
get.
see how they get the kids, man.
You need some tips to get them on Zoom, bro.
No, I'm just saying, but like, what do they do that would make a kid? Because I kind of know how that works. And from my understanding, what they'll do is they'll pretend to be, you know, younger and kick it to like a chick or something, or vice versa. And they'll get them to send them like titty pics and shit like that, you know, as if like they're kicking in, send me a picture of your snatch, send me a picture. And then what they do is they turn around and say, if you don't do this,
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna release these pictures to
right,
like everybody, your church and everybody, you know, and then they do it. But once it gets to the point of kill yourself, I mean, how bad do your titties look? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, like how bad is whatever they got from you that you'll go like, okay, I'll jump off a fucking roof with a GoPro on my head. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of this shit is just stupidity. It really does come down to just people being raised a little too soft, you know? Because at the end of the day, what could they possibly have on you? You know, you do, you know, what, sticking a banana in yourself or some shit like, you know,
the
even if
blue
that's-
sweet dog, the blue sweet.
Yeah, that's some other shit I just looked into. What was it called? Operation Blue Suite?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't an operation. It was
But
it was the hanky panky that was going on with J. Edgar Hoover, Ray Cohn, and a bunch of other motherfuckers.
And
And
one
see,
of the
bro-
Cardinals, some Cardinal was down with that
Yes,
too.
yes. One of the cardinals from the Vatican. And bro, the reason the blue suite stuff, you saw Ray Cohn, right? Have you heard his name mentioned?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I think Trump is an asset. That's why I think he's also part of it, because that's his boy, dude.
Yeah, they're
That's
all, dude, they're all kind of, or did he just, you know, was he as wise as a serpent? You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, just hung with them to know what was going on. Was he, who knows? You know, whatever it is, they're not hitting him with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he was doing all that crazy shit, unless he's got shit on them. King Handel says, I don't think anybody was raising any of these folks. Yeah, nah, man. They were just left on their own.
Yeah.
You know, left on their own, man. That's fucking crazy. But getting back to that Blue Suite thing, so it was basically a place where what, like all
It
these,
was in the Plaza Hotel.
and where's that? New York?
Yeah. In New York.
Listen, man, I gotta be honest, dude. The more you went down that Tartarian fucking hole, you gotta get the fuck out of San Francisco, dog. You're in a very like fucking evil place. It sounds like a lot of shit went on in there where like, how don't you feel it when you walk the streets?
I do, bro. And the other thing that's really interesting, I said it to my wife when we were walking through the palace. It felt weird, bro. Like when I walked into the center of that thing, it felt grand. You know, I felt like I was somewhere of importance. You know what I mean? Like when you went in, it was like there's a power to the ether there. You know, I could felt a connection to the ether.
Say ether again. They called you ugly.
Ether.
Yeah, man. I think I would feel that shit, man. Same thing with Cali. I think I would feel the energy, man. It's like there's certain places that are just abundantly evil. Like a lot of evil shit went on there, and it's still going on. Brian, you can't be staying in a place where you're the only person paying for shit.
I'm not. My
You're not
wife
the only
is.
person.
My wife is.
I'm just saying, man. King Hannah says, I don't know what the fuck Brian is talking about with the tartar sauce thing.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if you were here. You know, if you were around for that.
We're not going back. All I know is I don't know if Tartaria existed, but I know I don't want to visit.
But we are. So let's go into ether a little bit. And what does ether actually mean, right? Ether is the fifth element. It's known as quintessence, void or nothing. It is a material that fills the region of the universe beyond terrestrial space. It was used to explain several theories, including light and gravity. And did you know that the guy who discovered gravity, Sir Isaac Newton, was in fact an occultist like us? And an alchemist?
You know The Alchemist?
Mm-hmm.
King Handel says, I've heard his tartar sauce story. And the Traveling Runner says, I judge the evilness of a place by the amount of human poo on the streets. Yeah, I wouldn't even want to go into that place. Was that the place you went into where they were shitting and peeing all over?
The Treaty of Versailles, the Palace of Versailles?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
The place where they were shitting, that's not the same place you walked through that you said you felt.
It's
that
not.
energy.
No. It's not. Yeah, it's not. Ether is whatever Nas did to Jay-Z. And then
That's
Raymond
what I
says, I think what Brian is trying to say is that we live within the remnants of Tartaria and have been oblivious to it for so long by those who have hidden it and its truth to the world. Summed it up perfectly, dude.
I think you just made everything he said make sense to me. Big up to you, Raymond. Big up to you. Somehow wrapping it all up and making me understand what this fucking guy was trying to say to me or fucking for the last 2 hours. Thank you. I appreciate you. I fucking appreciate you. Fucking hold on 1 second, man. I just gotta send something out to my landlord because this fucking ceiling is coming down.
Traveling Runner says Isaac Newton died a virgin. So they say.
I wouldn't be surprised by that.
So they say.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, they probably consider the fact that if he never fucked a woman, he's still a virgin. The Traveling Runner says, I knew that. Raymond Robles sends it. Dude, I mean that sincerely. Thank you. That couldn't have been that probably is the comment of the day because it actually summed up what it is Brian was trying to say. You know, if anybody who's actually taken that trip with us from the beginning and you're still here, I think we should all just send Raymond a little round of applause for summing that up. Look, Brian looks relieved. Brian looks relieved. Look at him. Look, his whole face, like he feels like you understood. He was understood by somebody. It's
Dude,
nice to be understood, right?
The fucking bro.
Hey, my face is over here. Okay.
I don't think gravity exists, dog.
I wonder what the fuck your eyes do.
I don't think gravity exists, bro. I'm just gonna say it. I think
What's
gravity's
going on
fucking
with your
fake.
eyes right now.
I think it's fake, bro. I think it's fucking fake. It's just, dude, the story of it now is like, all right, so Sir Isaac Newton, right? The guy who is like the father of what? Physics, mathematics, like in all this other shit, classical mechanics, the three universal laws of motion, right? This dude was down with the shit that we're fucking down with, bro. He was doing all sorts.
I'm not down with none of that shit.
Oh, yeah, you are.
What am I
Yeah.
down with?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're down with it, G.
What am I down with?
You're way down, dude. You're down with it. Hold on. Yeah. Bro. Westminster Abbey, another Tartarian fucking building, dog. Look at this thing.
Nice clock.
And you you're just gonna tell me to you don't trust these fans. You're just gonna tell me that we got all. Oh, there's the same guy, bro. There's the same bearded dude. Where'd he go? Remember him from before? This guy? Where'd he go? All right, I'll stop. I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you. King Handel says, hold on a second. Raymond says, I'm glad I can connect and understand. So am I, man. We need something to pull us together here, man, because I'm not always on the same page with this. King Handel says, I support suppressing Brian's right to tell his Tartar sauce story. We must police ourselves. Michelle says, play nice, boys. We are playing nice, but he keeps touching me.
I'm not touching you. I'm gonna put your ass on an orphan train, dude, straight out to San Francisco if you don't keep it down. All right, so we got the one other topic that we haven't hit yet. Tupac.
People, they finally arrested this dude. He only admitted to it years ago, and now they finally arrested him. What's going on? Here's the thing. Do you think, and once again, I'm not talking shit about this man. Believe me, I'm not. This is what other people are saying. I'm just asking the question, do you think that somehow this is all going to lead back to Diddy? Yeah, Traveling Runner says he arrested himself. Yeah, no doubt. He did everything but walk into the place and say, arrest me. You know, the dude admitted to being there. Keith D, is that his name? Keith D?
Yeah.
You know, the question is, like I said, because
Dwayne Keith D. Davis.
Yeah. You want to read a little bit of it? Catch us all up.
Yeah. I guess I'm just trying to find the best article to read about it. I guess we'll go to this one. Good one on the Times. When 25 years after the killing of Tupac Shakur became a defining tragedy in hip hop, a self-described gang member who was repeatedly proclaimed that he participated in the drive-by shooting was indicted on a murder charge in Vegas Friday. The man, Dwayne Keith Davis, has said in interviews and a memoir that he was in the front passenger seat of the white Cadillac that pulled up near the vehicle holding Mr. Shakur after a 96 prize fight between Mike Tyson and Bruce Seldon in Vegas. The 25-year-old rapper was shot 4 times and died in the hospital less than a week later. A grand jury in Clark County indicted Mr. Davis on 1 count of murder with the use of deadly weapon, plus a gang enhancement charge, a prosecutor said. Mr. Davis, who was arrested, was earlier reported by the Associated Press, is in custody without bail.
All right, let's go to some of the comments here, man. Raymond says, I think they're bringing up Tupac to distract us once again. I totally agree. They were just waiting for a moment. They knew it. The dude admitted to it. They were just waiting for a moment. I mean, some say they were building their case. Maybe that is, I mean, it's possible. But I kind of lean toward what you're saying, that now they're bringing it up again because it's going to catch everyone's attention. I mean, not everyone's, but people like me, it caught my attention. You know, the Traveling Runner says, Keefy D. King Handel says, these old dudes are going to learn the hard way that they missed the social media wave. I mean, yeah, man, social media, thank God criminals aren't the smartest people in the world, right? Social media has busted so many people for going online and speaking about their crime or actually doing their crime online. It's insane. Raymond says, because wasn't the details of Tupac's death already figured out? Yes, it was figured out. Like he admitted to it in a documentary, yo. It's crazy.
It was 2018.
Yeah, in 2018, he admitted to that shit. Traveling Runner says, my question is why he chose to live in Las Vegas, to live in Vegas. Yeah. I mean, I've never been there, but I haven't heard good things. The Traveling Runner also says Puffy can't get charged because the money is allegedly paid got stolen by the middleman, Van Zip. I mean, listen, I don't think he's going to get charged because he's doing what they want him to do. You know, Like, in other words, he goes right along with the debauchery that they want him to. I mean, he didn't go to jail. He didn't go to jail for when all those people got burnt in that club when he was
Sure.
younger, and he threw that club, Puffy. I think when he was Puffy or Puff Daddy or whatever. You know, that's the thing. A person keeps changing their names. That's the sign. But he had that club that they didn't have enough exits, and he overcrowded it. A whole bunch of college kids got killed.
Happy Land, the Happy Land social club.
Was he Happy Land? I don't think he was Happy Land. Happy Land's the one where the dude got thrown out and he lit a fire by the door and killed everybody.
Is that what that
there.
was?
Yeah, it wasn't Happy Land. But I think he got charged, but he got over on that. He got over on the gun charge. You know, and people have been saying shit about him for years, and he's not even getting, you know, I don't even think investigated. King Hannah says Puffy paid in Bitcoin, completely untraceable. The Traveling Runner says the Stampede in the college show. Yes, it's not the
Chicago nightclub. Yeah,
no, I think it was New York.
Well, there's another one. There's another one in Chicago.
Sure there's a bunch because
this was 03. At least 21 people were killed and 57 injured early yesterday when hundreds of panicked partygoers scrambled down an unlit stairwell to escape choking fumes in a nightclub. Above the Epitome restaurant, city officials say the upscale nice spot where P. Diddy comes and
that's not it.
No,
I think it was in New York. And it's crazy that you're having a problem finding it, man. Just say college fire.
City College.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, man. So yeah, he probably will not get charged. But
91, a charity event promoted by Diddy. Oh yeah, bro, Astro World, dude.
Astro World,
that? Yeah. Puff Daddy, 29
I mean,
others.
in all honesty, I think that was just a tragedy. You know, I don't think he tried to set that up in any way. You know, it could have been led by greed or whatever. Definitely a tragedy. But either way, he never got charged on any of that stuff. And for the longest now, you know, at least on my feed, shit is always coming up with how this dude is just, you know, not a good dude. And like I said, I'm not trying to talk shit. I don't know the man. I met him once when I was working, doing the children's clothes for his clothing line, Sean Combs. And, you know, I met him just on a quick hello because he came down to the office. He smelled like money. It's the only thing I can say. The motherfucker, you could smell him, and he smelled like money. It was a good smell. But I don't know the dude.
That's adrenochrome, dog. That's what that smell is.
Yeah, man. He was adrenochromed out.
I got the interview with Keffy D.
Yeah, let's see it, man.
This is him telling the story.
When we pulled up, I was in the front seat. Happened to see my friend, Chuck.
Shug looks over, he sees you.
Yeah.
He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looked at me.
You said the shots came from the back. Big Dre, Orlando. Who shot Tupac?
They keep it for the code of the streets. It just came from the back seat, bro.
Dog, acting, bro. Acting, dude. Acting. There is not 1 cent of this dude right here that is authentic at all.
You said the shots came from the back.
Look at him, dude.
Big Dre, Orlando.
Look at him.
Who
This
shot
dude wasn't there,
Tupac?
bro.
You don't think he was there?
No,
They keep
dude.
it for the code of the streets.
No, bro, this
It
dude
just
was
came from
not-
the back seat, bro.
Are you kidding?
You don't think he was there? You think that's acting?
Dog.
So
Bro,
all right,
bro,
hold on.
It's
Please
the line
elaborate.
is so okay, right? So he's being interviewed in a documentary about someone's murder, right?
Yeah.
The guy asked him the question.
Yeah, and you think they only did that one take?
Oh no, dude! Because look how it's fucking tossed up. It goes from him It goes from they're doing some bullshit reenactment, right?
Yeah. Okay.
You said the shots came from the
Now
back.
what? Now hold on. Pause it. What about him says he's acting right now? Tell me the body language, because I know that you know body language and shit like that. Is it the eyes? Is it the way he's curling his
So
mouth?
this is
it?
what it to me. He looks professional. He looks
Well,
he
he-
looks clean cut. He looks comfortable. He looks very, very, very comfortable on camera, especially for some old ass gangbanger. You know, he looks very comfortable
What the
on
fuck
camera.
does that mean?
Yeah.
The
Saying he
fuck
looks
does
good.
that mean? All right, I'm not even gonna dive into that fucking question, but so
So
what you're saying is,
he looks comfortable.
man, this man,
And then watch. No pause.
Bang.
No pause.
Orlando. Who shot Tupac?
I keep for the code of the streets.
No pause.
It just came
I just
from the
saw a pause
backseat,
there.
bro.
Well, it was a little pause. It wasn't much of a pause.
now
It's
how
the
long of a
perfect
pause
line.
does he have
The
to have?
perfect line. The
Tupac.
perfect line, dude. I'm gonna keep it for the code of the streets, bro.
Keep for
Yeah. Yeah, what do you
Code
want
of
to
the
say? In
streets.
other words,
It
he's
just
saying,
came
listen,
from
I'm
the
not going to
backseat,
tell you
bro.
who did it. I'm just admitting to what I did.
He just looks
Why would a
happy about
person
it.
admit, well, I mean, it's been done before, but what
Keep
would be the
for the
reason
code
he
of the
would be
streets.
saying
It
he
just
was
came from
there
the backseat.
and he was part of the murder if he wasn't?
Psyop, dog. Crisis
Oh,
acting.
please. Oh, please says, laughing my fucking ass off. Brian telling his tartar sauce story. Dude, why would he lie?
I
You're
don't know.
frozen. You're frozen. Close your windows, man. You got too many windows open. Tartar's freezing you up, dog.
Hello.
Yeah, man. How many windows do you got open, yo? How is
Oh,
my
I had a lot.
fucking-
Yeah.
How's my internet running faster than yours? There you go. You're clearing up as we speak. I mean, you're not moving, so I don't know if you're moving. Oh, there you go. You're
I'm
moving.
here. Hmm?
It was hard to know. So what are you saying? You're saying you don't think he was down with it, dude? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't think so, bro.
He just wants to get arrested at 60 years old for the fun of it?
I don't know, dude. People have done a lot less for a lot less.
Is it that the price of groceries is too high and the price of apartments and all that shit? So he just wants,
3 hots in a
three
cot.
hots in a cot?
Yeah. Well, I heard it's actually only 2 hots in a cot now.
Really? They
Yeah,
cut
they
down?
cut. Well, they're just doing bigger portions twice a day instead of smaller portions 3 times a day.
They probably
It's
have
more,
some good,
it's more efficient.
they probably got some good gruel going on now.
Ah, dude, I know. Too bad you can't put it on a stick.
Yeah, man. I never understood that shit.
Grill on a
Like,
stick.
Nah, just gruel in general. Like, like when they show like orphanages and when they show you would think in orphanages they feed them a little better because doesn't like what they feed them affect the taste of the adrenochrome? You know what I'm saying? Like if you feed them better, it's like farm fed. If you feed them better, isn't the blood going to be better?
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing, right? Like you want cage-free eggs, but you want caged kids.
Yeah, you do, because like you want to be
Right?
afraid.
Exactly.
But I'm just
yeah.
saying, I would think,
Like veal.
listen, if a guy eats pineapples, supposedly it does wonders for the taste of that person, right?
Does it?
Supposedly, I've been told. I mean, I've been asked to drink a little more. I've been
So
asked to drink
they-
a little more pineapples in my day.
So they say.
So they say, right? So I would think if you're feeding these little orphans gruel, then they're not going to taste as good as they would taste if you fed them, farm fresh eggs and like good food. I think they would taste better. And then you put the fear in them. I don't know. What do I know, man? I'm not a cook.
Not much, dude.
Listen, man, this is always a very great part of my day. And I appreciate everyone who stopped in and everyone who stayed with us. If you're looking to see what Brian's doing when we're not here, man, check out Brian at Brian T. Licata. You can follow me at Gary G. Garcia. If you're by Atlantic City, I'm at Resorts tonight at 8 o'clock, man. Come check me out. Otherwise, go to acjokes.com and see when I'm playing. You can hear me every Monday on the JoJo and Scotty morning show on WZXL. You can even get it on your phone. Just fucking Google JoJo and Scotty. My spot is usually around 7 in the morning. So on your way to work, you can check it out. And thanks for coming out. Also, check me out every Monday. Also at
The Pair?
At the Grizzly Pair every Monday for the midnight show. This week, I'm not going to be there because I will be in Cleveland, Ohio on Sunday doing a show out there. And if you're in New York, man, go check out my boy Adam Gable this Friday, man. He's doing his album release for his special that me and Brian were both at, and it was awesome. So
amazing, dude.
I wanted to go. I'm not
West Side Comedy Club.
At the West Side Comedy Club this Friday. Go check out my boy Adam. Copy tickets at westsidecomedyclub.com. And thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate y'all, man. We appreciate you guys for coming back. Peace, man. Love you guys.
Step out into the ether.